Edmonton Sports Talk. My God, I loved it.
My name's Jay Milne. #Blue.
Our sports update deliverer, the Coon.
I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up today.
You know what, Reid?
You might be on this.
All right, here's what's going on in the Nasty Chat.
Oh, hey, old country, what's on your mind today? We're going to find out. Oilers holding their medicals today. There were some questions answered by GM Stan Bowman, by head coach Kris Knoblauch. Zack Hyman also fielded some questions, as did defenseman Jake Walman. And, of course, Connor McDavid spoke to Kyle Bukauskas and Elliot Friedman from Sportsnet in an interview yesterday, in which he said some things that some of you might find interesting. Others of you might think, whatever. Wake me when he signs an extension. All the chatter means nothing. Some of you might think all the chatter means everything, and we must analyze it until we all cry and curl up and go to sleep and have fitful dreams. How's everybody doing today? Of course, the afternoon headlines presented by 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Stream them on iHeart today. Heavy Oilers focus on the show today. Like I said, you'll hear from Bowman, Knoblauch, Walman, Hyman, a little bit from Connor McDavid. We will weigh in. We're happy to hear from you. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. That is the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. River Cree Resort and Casino happy hour featuring $5.25 drinks, available Sunday to Thursday, 9 a.m. till 7 p.m. You can email reid@edmontonsportstalk.com, jay@edmontonsportstalk.com, and you can post in the nasty chat. That's the good old chat function rolling along on the YouTube stream. If you are taking us in on YouTube, we ask you to take a split second of your day to hit that thumbs up button.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
How that was not up for Song of the Year last night at the Esties is beyond me. What, is it too short? It's still a song. It is musical. I'm not sure that how that didn't happen. So, yeah, we'll get into all these clips. We'll pick them apart. You, of course, can give your own pickage. You can also sift through them. Some interesting stuff from McDavid, certainly from Bowman today. Bowman, GM Stan Bowman, seemed quite confident that McDavid will sign an extension, and eventually either he will or he won't. And then we'll look back on this day and we'll either say, see, I told you so, or we'll say, what were we worried about?
But isn't that the beauty of having a topic like this?
Yes.
Is to have discussion. And to have, well, this is what I think. Or this is how I read that. Because everybody's minds react to, especially what Connor McDavid said in that interview with Bukauskas and Elliot Friedman.
Yes.
Everybody's going to interpret it differently.
Right.
I have my thoughts. You have your thoughts.
You have very interesting thoughts.
We've all had different thoughts here in the ESTHQ. It's been quite a topic.
It really has been.
But let's be honest. Is that not... Is it what Oilers fans want? Probably not. They'd probably rather not be having this discussion. But here we are on September 17th, having this discussion, reacting to what was said. So we're going to, I have my thoughts for sure.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all that. But I don't know. I think it's an interesting test.
Well, it's interesting to me that he keeps doing interviews, even though he supposedly says nothing's changing and he has nothing to add. That's
okay. That's number one on my point of discussion.
Okay.
Is I said this earlier, maybe later last week or earlier this week, which would have been 2 days ago. I forget. But seeing Connor McDavid doing interviews like this is concerning. At least in my opinion. Because anything that a professional athlete does, especially an interview like that, with Elliot Freeman and Kyle Bukauskas on Sportsnet. I mean, that could be one of the biggest platforms in Canada to get any sort of message across. Well, why is he doing it? Because it's calculated. Connor McDavid does not do sit-down interviews like that, unless you maybe in the Stanley Cup final. But this is calculated. There's a reason behind this. There's an agent behind this. There's a process behind this. Okay, so what's the calculation? Why is Connor McDavid doing this? Well, I know one thing for certain. It's not to appease any of the management group at Edmonton. It's not to say, hey guys, I'm putting my name out there. I'm looking for an extension. Because by all accounts, Connor McDavid could go to them with a sheet of paper with a number and a term written on it, and they'd say, sure.
It's done. Yeah.
It is done. So then why is he doing this? Why is he putting himself out there and saying specific things during these interviews? Yes, my focus is to win and looking forward to the 25-26 season. Okay, we all know that Connor McDavid's number one goal, well, we don't know if it's more important than money. Nobody knows that. But he's made it very clear.
He's already made a lot of money, to be fair.
Yeah, but like I've said,
he knows he deserves to make a bunch more, and he will.
Yeah, he knows, and he's worked his whole life to get to this point. What's the one thing he wants is to win.
Yeah, he wants the cup.
Okay? Now, another thing that he keeps saying is that, and he said it in both of these, national interviews that he's done, is that he's worked his whole life to put himself in this situation. His whole life has been dedicated to this process. To me, and I know Dusty said it on the morning show, so I've got to give him credit for originally saying this. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Connor McDavid. If you're a young kid playing hockey, street hockey, whatever you want, and you're pretending you're lifting the Stanley Cup, Connor McDavid has the chance to be the most highly coveted, sought-after free agent in NHL history if he goes ahead and tests free agency waters.
Right.
Now, what would lead you to believe that he won't do that if he is not extended prior to the season?
I don't know. Nothing.
It's just, to me, the signs that are coming in, the interviews that he's doing, putting himself there in a national spotlight, and I don't know, is he trying to say to other GMs or suitors in this case, hey, Connor McDavid might be available come free agency. Get yourself prepared. I'm committed to this team. I'm under contract to this team for this year.
Right.
But other than that, I'm not going to say anything. Right?
So your theory is that he is set to become, well, I think LeBron went to free agency, didn't he? But he would become one of the biggest free agents in the history of sports, which does not exclude him signing with the Oilers. Right? Well,
he could test free agency and decide that Edmonton's the place.
Right. He could go to free agency and then on July 7th next summer say, you know what, it's Edmonton.
But let's say a month ago, or I don't know, July 1st, the thought of Connor McDavid extending prior to the season was highly possible, or at least in our minds, at least in most people's minds, this is going to get done. Now we sit here on September 17th, 3 weeks before the season starts?
Yeah, I guess we are, yeah.
Not extended, and adding interviews like that, of which he's clearly saying the same things over and over.
Right.
A, I want to win. B, I've worked my whole life to get here. To get here, to be in this position. To write a check to wherever I want to go and wherever I want to play. And now, C, is I'm focused on the 25-26 season. Because that's the only year that he is still under contract with the Edmonton Oilers.
Right.
I'm not suggesting he won't sign or extend. I'm not here to say, oh, no, he's not. But you just have to look at what he's saying and why he's doing it.
So and we should get to this because this is one clip that interested you. So in the interview that Friedman and Bukauskas did with Connor, and this audio courtesy Sportsnet, obviously, Friedman says basically okay, so what's changed? What's changed with your thinking or could change your thinking as we move along here?
Nothing's changed as of now. as I said all along, I've said since June, I'm going to take my time with it, and I still intend to do that. And it's a big decision. It's not something I take lightly or my family takes lightly. Everything in my life's been building to be here and be in this position and be in this moment, and it's not something that I'm just going to dream up and decide, I'm going to think it over, and we have been and we'll continue to do so.
Okay, so he's continuing to think. He's in a unique position, which he kind of referenced when he did the scrum about a week and a half ago as well. We know he's highly analytical. We know hockey is his whole life. Mm-hmm. If you make the NHL, you're obviously very committed to hockey. I think McDavid is on a next level to that. So, he's thinking it over very carefully. Now, we don't know how often he's thinking it over. We don't know how, Stan Bowman said there's conversations. We don't know how often they're happening. We don't know how intense they are. We don't know if McDavid has given himself a deadline to either do it or not do it or stop thinking about it. We don't know. We don't know all of that type of stuff. There's as much as we're hearing stuff from him, I'm still reminding myself of how much we still don't actually know. And as I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, you can't totally put yourself in someone else's shoes. You can try, but to put yourself in McDavid's shoes would be, I think, very, very difficult. He's a very unique human being in a very unique situation.
Well, and that's why I think the only thing you can do is listen to what he's saying. And if you're listening to what he's saying, or at least the way I hear it, tell me I'm wrong, please. I'd love to hear your opinion or your side. But what I'm hearing is that he's not near making a decision. And 3 weeks out of the season, if this thing gets to the season, well, you know what the rhetoric's going to be? We're not talking about this during season. I got to focus on gameplay.
Yeah.
And then that gets pushed down the road again. That's problematic if you are of the belief that Connor McDavid's going to extend in Edmonton.
Right.
Now, not to get too far down the road, Connor McDavid has a no-move clause.
Yes.
So this is not something where you could say, okay, well, if this isn't buttoned up by January 1st, a date that our very own Matthew Wanek has said that would be the day he gets concerned.
Right. Bruce Boudreau said Christmas on the Nielsen show a couple of weeks ago.
Well, then you still can't even say, okay, well, we got to get assets in return at least. That's not on the table. That's up to Connor McDavid.
Right.
If he wants to remove that and salvage anything here in Edmonton that he's built, he could. He doesn't have to.
Now, one of the possibilities here, and again, I'm putting this out there as a possibility, everybody, and I said this to Tom on the oil stream today. Another possibility is that he is going to sign an extension, and he knows he's going to sign an extension, but he is debating how long he wants it to be.
Could be.
Because he knows when the next contract runs out, he might be in a somewhat similar situation, or if he signs with the Oilers for a long time, like let's say he signs an 8-year deal tomorrow, hypothetically. So that means he's committed to Edmonton for another 9 seasons. Then he's looking at being almost in his late 30s the next time he's a free agent, which means at that point he might be looking at his final NHL contract, or maybe have gone through injuries or having his play dropped off or whatever. You know what I mean? And then he could also be looking at, well, wait a minute, if I sign for this now, what percentage of the salary cap could I be making in 6 or 7 years when I might still be one of the most productive offensive players in the history of the game? Right. So I wonder if he's thinking about all of that stuff, too. Not also what he's going through, not just what he's going through now, but what he also could be going through, in 7 or 8 years, and when he wants to go through that again. Maybe that's right. And we've talked about this a lot. Maybe it's a 4-year deal. So then he's an Oiler for another 5 seasons. Then he keeps playing here, sees how it goes, plays, still a good chunk with Leon. And then, 32, 33, I'm a free agent again. I'm probably still really, really good. Maybe the salary cap's $150 million by then. And then who knows what I can make. So there's a lot of possibilities. I think no one can really know what he's thinking. Some of the things he says strike me as somewhat odd. I am most struck by the fact that a guy who doesn't say a lot keeps doing interviews and not saying a lot. Like, at what point are you just like, and I know maybe with Sportsnet and Elliott, there's some sort of obligation, or pressure to do it because
Sure.
They're the $1 billion rights holder in Canada and all that kind of stuff. But it is fascinating just to discuss. We're here for you to talk about. I know some of you are worried. Some of you think everything's going to be fine. I've already seen a couple of comments like, can you stop talking about it when we're not going to? Because anything surrounding McDavid is a big story. 780-218-9999 is how you can reach us. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We will get to some interesting stuff from Stan Bowman today and other interesting discussion points as well. Jake Walman was a topic today. Goaltending was a topic today. Carter Hart was brought up today by Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic. He flat out asked Stan Bowman if there's interest in Carter Hart, who of course was recently found not guilty of the sexual assault charges relating to the 2018 junior team. So we'll see what Bowman says about that. And Knoblauch talked about some of the younger players. Oh, and you know who else could sign it, could get an extension soon? Kris Knoblauch. Mm-hmm. So, and he had a clip about that too. The Esties were last night. An absolute joyous occasion. If you're watching on YouTube, yes, I am proudly displaying the two Esties I was voted to receive last night. I did indeed win Rookie of the Year, despite being 51 years of age and about 25 and a half years into my broadcasting career. But as Matthew reminded me, I was an Edmonton Sports Talk rookie, joining the group. So I was lucky enough to win that. And then, quite frankly, this was the only category, because we got to vote, right? And we picked four.
Yes.
We got to pick top four choices in each category. This was the only category in which I put myself as the number one choice. Even show of the year, stuff like that. Gutsiest performance of the year for working the day after I had eye surgery. So I did indeed get that one. And you and I, we each presented an award separately and then presented one together. Now, we presented the Nasty of the Year.
Yes.
The Big Uke won. He's going to be on the show at 5:30. Why not? You win that award, you get to be a guest. Jack says, Reid, did you accomplish the gentleman's sweep for the awards? I almost walked out when that one episode of the year. I almost walked out. Though, you know what? I voted for it. I'm like, they put that much commitment into it.
It's a good bit.
Even though they're incorrectly interpreting what a gentleman's sweep is, I was fine with that. But just a wonderful night at the Esties. Like, first of all, if you tune into the show for 12 hours a day or 12 minutes, we love you. Or 12 seconds. We love you. And then, not everybody can obviously come to the Esties, and we literally have listeners from all over the world. But to everybody who came last night, thank you. Great to meet you, shake your hand, have a laugh with you. Even if it was just brief, we love talking to everybody. The audience community on Edmonton Sports Talk, I think, is extremely unique. I think it's very special, and it's an honor for me to be a part of it.
I share the same thoughts, and it's just, like you said, a really awesome night where everybody gets to celebrate each other.
Right.
Because Nasties, I don't know, I think we tell you enough, but I'm not sure if you quite get it. But without the listeners, without you, none of this happens. None of it. So as much as you love the Reid Wilkins getting the Rookie of the Year, none of this happens without you guys. So guys and gals, excuse me, it really doesn't. So I drove Tube Socks.
Yeah.
I drove Ginger and VR Montenegro over to Hudson.
MRS Montenegro, as I called her.
yeah, MRS Montenegro. And I know that Ginger's been out in Saskatchewan dealing with some family stuff, and she was back. We hadn't seen Ginger in a while. And on the walk to Hudson's from where we parked, she said that she's been out there for 7 months almost, and how's things? And so we had a little conversation about that. But you know what she said, which really, really was interesting, is that she said, I was just happy to know that VR had 12 hours of Edmonton Sports Talk every day to, it's a difficult situation, what they were going through. So she alluded to him having that as a safe place, as a place of comfort, a place that he could, feel like family.
Yeah.
That really hit home.
Yeah.
That was really cool to hear. So to all of you, we thank you so much. And, maybe next year I'll have one of these.
I'm sure you will. Well, if our show would have won something, like we could have won Show of the Year. If Colin Mockery would have won the Moment of the Year, we both would have gone up there for that.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. I mean, Coob got best musical? No, Hernan got best musical performance. You got best original song.
Yes,
with Josh Lawson.
Yeah.
So Coob will be displaying his Estie when he does his sports updates throughout the course of the show. So along those lines, the off-topic topic for William Huff. Since 1952, William Huff has provided industry-leading advertising solutions for thousands of valued clients. Their unparalleled customer service, combined with decades of industry expertise and a desire to make every job the very best it can be, is what they call the William Huff Advantage. Visit their website at williamhuff.com or give them a shout, 780-454-4536. Our off-topic topic is, what category would you like to see added at the Esties next year?
I've got one right off the bat.
Oh my goodness. What is it?
And it's not even debatable.
Okay.
If this isn't in there, because we always see the Grand Est parlay over at the ESG specials on Play Alberta.
Yep.
Best or biggest parlay to hit.
Oh, best like a parlay of the year.
Yeah, parlay of the year.
I never thought of that. That's a good one.
That would be incredible, because then Dusty and I, who, let's face it, Dusty and I usually go for things that are more manageable. They're not as big of odds. But Dusty and I would have to start shooting for the stars on some of these, like the Grand Est parlay.
Right.
Because that could be it. Or the what do they call it? A sharp? The EST sharp? That would be good.
Yeah.
Right? And then, just stuff like that to involve Play Alberta. I think something like that could really get
that's a good one. Coyote Steve in the Nazi chat says, "Hey Reid, if 97 walks and the Oilers get nothing, who takes the blame? Jackson? Would it be Jackson?" Well, that's a big hypothetical, Coyote Steve. I mean, I get two things to that. I guess if that happened, everybody's going to blame whoever they want. But Jeff Jackson is the top of the hockey operations tree, right?
Yeah.
So I guess here's the obviously the worst case scenario is he goes to free agency and leaves, right? And the Oilers get nothing. Now the Leafs, at least, what did they get for Marner? They got a little bit, right? It's like he was, I'm going to sign with Vegas. Well, okay, crap. Can we trade you to Vegas and do something like that? So, I mean, that would be up to, if it reached that point, June 28th, and they don't think they're going to get a deal, and they think, okay, we think McDavid wants to go to Dallas, the Rangers, or Vegas. Okay, let's trade his rights to Dallas so they have 2 days to negotiate with him. That would be on Jackson and Bowman to try to get something for him, I suppose. Now, the other side, I maybe I'm misinterpreting your question, Coyote Steve. If McDavid walks and the Oilers get nothing, who takes the blame? I'm answering that. What do the managers do if they realize that he's going to go? Then they have to try to get something. If McDavid just decides to walk, I don't view that at anybody's fault. That's just free agency. Right? Like Jay said, they got Nicholas Waugh for Marner. So they got an okay player back. At least they got somebody back. But again, like Jay was saying, if he wants to be a free agent, I mean, he has earned that right. He has earned the right not to sign an extension if he wants to, right? He has earned the right to go to free agency at noon or 11 a.m. next July 1st, whenever it is, and field offers and take as long as he wants to decide and entertain the Oilers' offer in the midst of all that. But I think if the Oilers knew he was going to walk, then they would have to try to trade him. And here's the thing, you probably could trade him somewhere, because wherever he goes, that team is going to have a lot of the cap going to McDavid, so they're probably going to want to shed a contract or two, right? Which is why the Leafs at least got something back. So anyway, that's kind of a long-winded answer to that. I hope that's what you meant, Coyote.
This is in the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. Barry says, by doing these interviews, he's letting other teams know he's going to free agency. Bone says, I'd be so sad if Connor left, but I can't help but be a little excited at what the return would be. It would be the biggest trade in NHL history. Well, for the order and that to happen, Connor would have to remove his...
Oh, for there be a trade during the season or now? Yeah, he'd have to take his no move off. And I don't think he's prepared. That's
Rip City Step says, my brain is with Jay. My heart is still worried. Multiple interviews are weird, but definitely are for a reason. And I mean that. If he's putting out the, sounding the alarms that, hey, I'm going to be available. And Reid, tell me if I'm out to lunch on thinking this. But is it saying prepare yourselves? Prepare your space. Prepare cap space. I'm going to be available. Is that at all? Because in my mind, that makes sense. Does that at all make sense in your mind?
I understand what you're saying, but I also think you have the summer to be cap compliant. So right now, who sucks? The Sharks, right? I guess Nashville had a pretty bad year last year after I picked them to win the cup. Chicago hasn't been good for a couple years. So I don't think, I personally think that's a little far-fetched for Connor McDavid to be saying, okay, teams, I want you to spend all this year getting rid of contracts so you can afford to sign me. Because if he goes to free agency, every GM in the league has to make a call to his agent, even if they think they're the lowest on the list. They have to say, is there any way this can happen? And then they have the summer to get their cap in order. So I don't think he's necessarily telling teams like, hey, everybody, you better get ready for me. They can deal with that if he becomes available, right? Like, if you, I don't know about that. I understand what you're saying, but I just, to me, that's so like, okay, I'm going to play for the Oilers this year, but what I really want to see is teams trade away good players and free up cap space to sign me. Like, I don't know. How appealing would that be?
That one there, Coob.
What happened?
Somebody.
All right. 780-218-9999. River Cree Resort and Casino Inbox. We will discuss Connor McDavid. You'll hear from Stan Bowman, Kris Knoblauch, Jake Walman, all coming up. Here's the Coop.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman was asked about Connor McDavid's possible contract extension, stating, quote, he wants nothing more than to win in Edmonton. Bowman also noted that Zack Hyman has no return date for the Oilers as he continues to recover from a wrist injury. Down the QE2, Michael Backlund has signed a 2-year extension with the Flames worth over $3 million annually. While back in E-Town, today's Elks injury report said has that Royce Metier, Jared Brinkman, and Nick Anderson all missed practice. Anderson with a hip injury, Brinkman recovering from a shoulder issue, while Metier sat out with an Achilles injury. Down south, Brock Purdy of the 49ers has a chance to play this week, according to head coach Kyle Shanahan. Purdy will be limited in practice today as he recovers from a toe and shoulder injury. MLB action, Toronto and Tampa go toe-to-toe once again. Jays winning the first 2 games of their series. Kevin Gausman on the bump for today's game with the first pitch just after 5. And right now, 2 games are underway. The Nationals up 2-0 over the Braves in the 5th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Paramount Flooring, proudly serving Edmonton and area for over 30 years. Their West End showroom is open 7 days a week. You can shop online at ParamountFlooring.ca. Reid and Jay continue the discussion on the other side of the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, keeping you up to date.
2 guys and a goalie.
Cash, you want to dive into this Spencer Knight thing with Stewie's kid?
Here are Spencer Knight's numbers. 24 years old, 95 games in the NHL. Goal against of 282. Save percentage, 904. Now, you have Dustin Wolf contract, and then you have Edmonton Oilers fans who are like, oh, Stuart Skinner's going to sign for $2.5 million as a starting goalie.
I love your fan voice.
2 guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
GCL Diesel has been serving oil country since 1972. From diesel cars to SUVs to pickups. From farm tractors to school buses to a big rig. From diesel generators to forklifts, GCL can test, troubleshoot, and repair all diesel fuel system components. Whether it's injectors, pumps, turbos, filters, or additive, GCL has the parts you need to keep your diesel running the way it should. For genuine diesel parts at wholesale prices, visit GCL Diesel in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel. Diesel understood.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Fall football and your living room just became the fan zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Indeed, lots to talk about. Connor McDavid today, Stan Bowman answered some questions. Oilers GM, he answered many questions, as did head coach Kris Knoblauch. So there are some non-McDavid topics of interest too that we're going to dive in throughout the course of the show. Oilers doing the medicals today and on the ice tomorrow. On ice session starting, so we'll see some line combinations very early. Preseason split squad games against Calgary on Saturday. The Edmonton Elks the split quad games are Sunday. The Edmonton Elks play Saturday in Hamilton. We had a great interview yesterday with Elks quarterback Cody Fajardo, and that's a 5 o'clock game on Saturday. So 4 o'clock for the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jason Milne and Matthew Wannock, and then they'll be on after the game as well. One of, I'm sure, an all-time favorite for many of you, Jason Smith, will be on the show at about 20 after 4 today to talk about the Edmonton Oil Kings, because we want to preview their season opening home and home against the Red Deer Rebels. So what are they, Friday in Red Deer, and then it's a Saturday, a special 4 o'clock start with Curtis Lazar dropping the puck, now an Oiler, former Oil King, and about a 45-minute performance after the game by a Taylor Swift tribute artist.
Yeah.
So they Oil Kings always have fun stuff going on.
Bring your bracelets.
We'll have to ask Jason Smith about the Taylor Swift fan in his life. I'd love to ask Jason Smith, too, just his training camp memories as a player. How did it change? Because I imagine, we think of Jason Smith as a confident, strong player, which he was. I wonder what it was like when he started, that first time he was in a training camp, Leon Draisaitl had that great story a couple of years ago. Tony Brar was doing a feature, your welcome to the NHL moment. And Leon said, I remember when we played the Kings, and he said, I can't remember if they just won the cup or were a couple of years removed, but he's like, we didn't touch the puck the entire game. And he was like, wow, this is the NHL. I don't get to play with the puck for 30 minutes a night like I did in junior. It's a little different. Little different. Though now I'm sure a lot of players go against Leon and are like, they're like, oh, Leon won't give you the puck. Where did that come from? Thanks a lot for checking out the show today. We are talking about Connor McDavid. We're looking at it from a lot of different angles. We seriously don't want to upset anybody. I know for some people this is an upsetting topic. And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
So I'll try not to make you sad today. Jay's going to crush your dreams on the other hand.
Just the old realist in me.
It is the Oil Understood for GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around. From turbochargers to ejectors, fuel pumps to sensors, they are the critical engine component experts. Proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years, and now a partner of Edmonton Sports Talk and the Reid Wilkins Show. GCL Diesel. Diesel. Understood. That was great yesterday when you did the call out to the crowd at the Esties.
It was good
to finish that sentence.
It's taken off.
That was a lot of fun. All right, let's do. So I have so many clips here. Okay, I'll do this one first. This was not Bowman's first question or first Q&A. Like the first 2 or 3 questions were about McDavid. They went to some other topics, and then Mark Spector asked, "Okay, Spec's like, look, my boss says." You better have something on McDavid today. And that's the one thing you got to remember for some of the guys whose work goes nationally. Their bosses and their networks or their outlets don't want anything from the Oilers unless it's McDavid and maybe Draisaitl, right? I mean, we had, you might have been away, but like when Lazar signed, like, were you there that day? Like, we had Curtis Lazar on.
No, I wasn't.
And
no.
He's awesome. We had Matt Tompkins, who's going to be a minor league goalie on. Like, he comes on, does a great interview, and I think most of the audience appreciates it, that we are going to profile other things. But the national guys, it's like, yeah, I don't care if, Booger McBoogerton is the most interesting interview in the history of the National Hockey League. He's going to be on the Bakersfield Condors. Don't send me a piece on him, Spec. So... Spec actually framed it that way. He's like, I got to give him something on McDavid. Oilers fans are anxious about it. They're nervous about it, Stan Bowman. What would be your message to the nervous and anxious fans?
It's hard. I get it. I understand that. There's a lot of anxious or anxiety, whatever the word is, anxiousness. And I think I trust what Connor says. I mean, really, at the end of the day, when Connor says there's nothing that he wants more is to win in Edmonton, I believe him. I don't know why anyone else wouldn't. Like, he's been consistent in saying that, and I love hearing it when he says that's his singular focus is to win in Edmonton. So for me, I take it at face value, and I have no reason to question him. So, and I understand why he wants to go through. Whenever you're making a big decision, you want to make sure it has to feel right. And whenever that moment comes, maybe it's going to be 2 days from now or 3 days from now or 2 weeks from now, whenever it is, then he'll be ready. And I think until that happens, me asking him that or saying anything is not going to change that. It's up to Connor, and I understand that.
I actually think that was a really good clip, like Bowman or not. I know some of you don't, but I actually think that was a pretty good clip. First of all, him pestering McDavid daily doesn't help.
Nope.
And we'll get to another clip later. Like there is dialogue between the two. It's not as if they're not talking about it, but Bowman texting him every day at 2:00. Hey buddy, just checking in. You signing today? Doesn't do anything. But sometimes when there's something going on like this, I will say to myself, okay, what's the simplest way to look at it? And I think that's what Bowman is saying there. Why would I be worried? His actual words are, he wants to win in Edmonton. So why would I think he's lying? Why would anyone think he's lying?
Reid, if Connor had not done either of those interviews last week with Speck and Rashog, and then yesterday, or whenever that was, nobody would be worried. Nobody. Not one person.
If he just done the scrum.
Yes. The only reason Edmontonians and Oilers fans are in this state is because of 2 interviews that he's done. As a player who doesn't do many interviews.
Well, he does do a lot of interviews, but he does.
I mean, like not
scrums. He does a lot of scrums. Yeah,
not those sit down
one-on-ones. Sure,
that's it. That's why these interviews are quite a head scratcher. And yes, we all understand what Bowman said. Connor wants to win in Edmonton. Yes, he does. But as he alluded to yesterday, or when that interview came out, for the year 25-26, that's his goal, is to win in Edmonton.
Right.
Well, that's not news breaking. He's under contract.
That's the duration of his contract. Yes.
Right? So that, and that's why these interviews to me are just so, trying to read into why those are happening.
Yeah.
Because without them, none of this is even on the table right now. Everybody's still comfortable. Everybody's still saying, oh, he's just taking his time.
Sure.
Just taking his time. Hey, Sidney Crosby didn't sign till the 26th, you know? Stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, so here's, again, this audio courtesy Sportsnet. I just took a couple clips from it from the Bukauskas-Friedman interview. So here, I left Elliott's question in this one.
Just what do you want to see? Like, when I'm sure you've told the Oilers, this is important to me. This is what gets me to commit for however long I decide to commit. What is that?
Yeah, that's a good question. Truthfully, what do I need to see? I guess the answer is nothing. All the pieces are here for 25, 26. It's going to be a feeling. It's going to be when the time's right, the moment's right. I think it'll just be a feeling. But as of right now, just excited to get the season going, really.
He doesn't need to see anything. All the pieces are here. Pause for 25-26, which, as you said, that's the only season he's under contract for. So why worry about any other ones? But then he says, it's just a feeling. When the time, there are so many ways to look at that. It's almost like when I listen to just that clip, I'm almost hearing there. You know what? I'm pretty darn sure I'm going to sign an extension, and maybe even a long one. I just need to go from 95% sure to 100, and I'm just not quite there yet. I'm still making my lists of pros and cons, and I just got to make sure. Now again, we're also overanalyzing this. These are questions he's asked on the spot, and he's trying to come up with the best possible answers that he can. Maybe he's not perfectly articulating what he has to say, but
okay, if it's coming down to a feeling and it's just a feeling, well, then how can you also say that, this is a big decision and I need to take my time and this is a family decision. I need to talk with my wife and, which I think is fine. Of course you should be doing that. So the feeling thing, I don't really understand that. And I don't think anybody can, but that's kind of what Bowman said as well, is it's a time and place thing. It's got to be right. So that was a confusing part of that to me, is the whole feeling. But like we said, neither you or I are in the brain of Connor McDavid. We don't know what he's actually thinking.
Yeah.
Can I share a theory that came in?
Yes.
Theory. Connor is waiting to see how the negotiations are going with Ekholm, Walman, and Podkolzin. Based on what they signed for, he will take a short-term friendly deal to stay under the cap, say 2 to 4 years. Then he can renegotiate for bigger dollars, see where things are at, and make an informed decision, and still can sign a big 7-year deal as well. That comes in from McLean.
I don't see it that way. I don't think he's waiting to see what some of his teammates do. He's the alpha here. Who's the captain now? What's that from?
That ship movie.
Castaway?
Captain Phillips.
Captain Phillips.
Yeah.
Captain Phillips and the Island of the Castaways.
Exactly.
Featuring Forrest Gump. I don't think he's, and quite frankly, what did Ekholm say? He's like, the big dogs get their contracts done first, then it's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, and no disrespect to these players, and we've talked about all those players and why they might be important, and Walman we're going to feature today as well. But I don't think Connor McDavid is sitting there thinking, I wonder what Jake Walman's going to sign for. I better see. This is about him. I think that I don't realize that's an alternative theory, and that person was probably throwing it out there just to say here's another theory, but that's not one I would spend a lot of time considering. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's deciding a lot more than I think the decision he's making has nothing to do with those players.
No.
This is about, does he want to commit to Edmonton for the rest of his playing years? Does he think Edmonton can win a Stanley Cup? Because if he signs in it, let's say a 2-year, that number's now getting thrown out. Maybe a 2-year extension. Does he take a bit of a discount to allow the Oilers to use money they would have spent with him to build the right pieces around him? I could see that. But then, that's okay, Oilers, you have 3 years to win a Stanley Cup, at least one. Otherwise, this is over.
We are in the banquet studio. Win big this football season at the Canadian Brewhouse. Enter for a trip for two to Super Bowl LX. 60? Plus weekly prizes.
Yeah, that's 50 plus 10. That's
and $1
$60
off Budweiser and Bud Light tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Jay's Play of the Day is coming up. More from Stan Bowman and Kris Knoblauch, and of course from you. We can't obviously read all your comments live on air, but you're chatting with each other as much as with us if you're in the nasty chat on YouTube. Jay's Play of the Day for Play Alberta coming up. Here's the Coop.
Day one of Oilers training camp had a few media availabilities, including general manager Stan Bowman addressing Connor McDavid's possible contract extension, stating that, quote, I don't think he's focused on money. Bowman also shared that Zack Hyman's return to the team is unknown as he recovers from a wrist injury, adding that the team is not interested in free agent Carter Hart. While from Calgary, 36-year-old Michael Backlund has signed a 2-year, $6.5 million contract extension with the Flames after spending his entire career in Calgary. For the Elks, Nick Anderson, Royce Metier, and Jared Brinkman did not practice today. Anderson out with a hip injury, Brinkman sidelined with a shoulder and toe issue, while Metier recovers from an Achilles injury. And down in Tampa, the Jays and Rays hit the field just after 5. Kevin Gausman, the starter for the Jays, and 3 games are wrapped up, 2 games live. Giants and D-backs runless bottom of the 9th, while the Braves trail the Nats in the 6th. This sports update is brought to you by Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated, serving Leduc and surrounding areas since '93. They have doors, flooring, baseboards, and of course, plywood. Go see the knowledgeable staff today at Windsor Plywood Leduc. Jays Play of the Day for Play Alberta brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
That's the really interesting thing to look at this. Okay, what could Savoie do? What could Howard do? What could possibly Tomasek do? Mm-hmm. You know, could Walman score 15 from the back end, which would be huge?
That would be.
So that could add up to about 40 goals. McDavid himself could provide a 40-goal swing from last year.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses. Because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
Gallo LLP is an Alberta-based accounting firm with expert chartered professional accountants in both our Edmonton and Sherwood Park accounting firms. Our experienced and innovative accountants provide financial advice that saves our clients money. Simply put, we help our clients protect their assets and grow their businesses. At Gallo LLP, they go beyond the numbers to ensure the continued success of your business. Reach out to Preet or John to discuss how they can help your business grow. Visit gallollp.ca today and see how they can help you take your business to the next level.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences, plus all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom, and from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Must you click? Click. Thumb. Must you click? Thumb.
There it is, the Thumb Click remix. Is that the one you made, Coop? That's the one put together by Zachary Kubish.
That is baby work. I'm surprised that wasn't up for Nesty.
If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. Quite frankly, if everybody just got in there and clicked the like button right now, we'd be well over our daily goal of 100. So what are you waiting for? Give us a click. You can also get us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Thanks for tuning in through those audio streaming apps. Remember, let other people know how they can find Edmonton Sports Talk. Now, an added bonus to find our content from 6:04 a.m. until 9 a.m. every weekday morning, the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric is on 95.7 Cruise FM, which is an additional way to get us. All the streaming stuff we've had for over 2 years is all the same and all excellent. There's just another item at the buffet, or buffet, as we used to say back in Evansburg. Quickly here, the off-topic topic for William Huff. What categories should be added at the Esties next year?
Shovelhead says, an award for best investigative story. Preferably sports-related. All right.
Okay.
Library Pat. This might be in the Esties next year. We'd have to do a little bit of work, but no-brainer for the off-topic topic. Limerick of the Year.
Oh, that would be a good one.
Should be an Esties.
Yeah, that should be an Esties.
It's unique to your show. I agree with you, Library Pat.
Yeah, Limerick of the Year should be in there.
We'd have to just, you'd really have to steal the show to get it in there, because there would be some good submissions.
Well, we presented the final award of the night in Limerick form,
of course,
last night.
How else could we? Would we do it?
Would we do it? We wouldn't do it any other way.
That's right.
It's Jay, it's play, he's Jay, it's today. It's Jay's play of the day. It's Jay's play of the day. Jay's play of the day
is presented by Play Alberta. You can skip the flight to Vegas because jackpots are just a tap away. Experience all the thrills of the casino right from your phone with Play Alberta. Download the app today. Deposit $50 using the EST exclusive promo code EST Casino for a $50 casino bonus.
Well, it's Wednesday.
Yes. What? I hope that's not what the bet is on.
Oh, no. I wish there were odds on days of the week. That would be fantastic. It's Wednesday. The Blue Jays are playing. There's not really that many other sports on. So we're going to go Blue Jays. Now, there's already something up on the EST specials page. Blue Jays to win. Kirk, one or more hits. That's the early bird bet at plus 144. So although I like the Blue Jays to win, I wanted to mix it up and get a bigger number over on the EST specials. So head on over to playalberta.ca, click on sports, click on EST specials. I've got a George Springer home run. George Springer had 3 hits yesterday. He's batting .305. He leads the team with 29 home runs. Why not? Plus 380. That's a big numby. You put $10 on that, you're returning 38.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's good for a Wednesday evening. Well, you'd actually return 48.
Well, it's good for any evening.
It's great.
I'll take making money any day of the week.
There you go. So that's Jay's play of the day. Head on over to playalberta.ca.
Yeah. What's that kid, the dumper kid? What's his name again?
Big Dumper?
Yeah, the big dumper, the Seattle guy. What's his actual name?
Cal Raleigh. I was just talking about Cal Raleigh today.
Yeah.
He hit 2 last night.
So he's up to 55.
And they were from opposite sides of the plate, were they not?
So he's got, I think he already has the switch hitter record.
Yeah.
So
it's incredible.
I always think old fashioned. Like when I was a kid, it was Maris with 61. Maris 61, right? And then McGuire and Sosa obliterated it, and then Bonds beat it. Now, they may have had assistants. That other players didn't have. So I always think, to me, 61 is still a plateau. I mean, this dumper kid, he's got a chance to get to 61. You've still got a couple weeks left, right?
Incroyable.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he says to himself when he hits a home run. Incroyable, dumper. He'd be the big dumper. If he was on the Expos, he'd be Le Grand Dumper. Right? That's what he would be if he played for the Expos.
Le Grand Dumper.
Yeah. Or no, he'd be Le Grand Derrière.
Derrière?
Yeah, that's what he would be. Le Grand Derrière.
That's right.
Yeah, I think my French is almost correct.
It's close enough. It may not be.
Yeah.
But it's close enough.
Or what is dump? How do you say dumper in French?
Let's find out.
Yeah, that's really the question. I'm forgetting about the play of the day. We got the question.
It's Jay.
How do you say dumper on Francais? You got it.
Tombereau.
Tombereau. Tombereau.
See, Le Grand Derrière means the big backside.
Yeah, that would just be big ass.
Le Grand Tombereau.
Yeah, Derrière.
Le Grand Tombereau.
Le Grand Tombereau.
Tombereau.
There we go. if they are ever the Seattle Expos. Or no, the Montreal Mariners. Watch out for the mighty man of the St. Lawrence Seaway. Is that the river line? They'd have to have the river line.
So I was sitting in front of Benny and his family.
Okay.
And Benny's dad leaned over to me when you were doing your voices to announce nominees.
Right.
And he said, I laughed for an hour straight during that river line show. I think the river line needs to come around more.
Yeah, I'm still working on it a little bit though. But
I think the river line does need an accomplice.
So the premise was he guards the
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls, and if you want to cross,
you have to play
him.
a song. Yeah. Play him an instrument.
Oh, hello, lad.
Or he'll eat you.
You'd like to traverse the river, would you? Well, you're welcome to. If you can meet my pleasure with a song. Is that a bongo in your backpack? Play for me, boy. Play. Lest I pick your bones from my teeth. And he's like, it gets really dark. I was like, okay, I'll play.
Yeah, he goes from really happy to like a murder mystery.
Oh, yeah, play me a song. Please do. Please do. Yes. Play a song that will bring me joy. If you'd like your skin to remain attached to your flesh.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
He's a really confused, conflicted river line.
Very much. Stan Bowman. Very few shows can have a river line character add quotes from the Oilers GM within 20 seconds. Stan Bowman on his conversations with Connor McDavid.
The conversations with Connor are always more, I wouldn't say it's a sales pitch as much as just it's a dialogue when he has questions or I don't want to get into what we talk about, but I think it's more free-flowing conversations. Like I've gotten to know him now. I've been here for a year, and I feel like we can just sit down and talk hockey or talk about things that are on his mind, things about the current team or the future team. And I've done that not just recently, but also throughout the last season. Like I find he's got a real good pulse on the team as well. I mean, as the leader and the captain, I think he has thoughts on things, and I want to understand that so that I can, kind of working together on it. So I would say it's not so much a sales pitch as it is just a conversation, and it goes in a bunch of different directions usually.
Bowman with a little more on what they talk about and the future of the team.
He does ask me about like where do I envision things, so that's a part of it. We talk about this year too. We talked about what did we do well last year? What do we think we could change or should change? So I would say it's not limited to just one thing, but it does definitely touch on future.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like Connor McDavid is in a unique situation as well. Like he has a lot of power and cachet as a player and as a captain. Like he can actually go to Stan Bowman and say, Stan, we need a team with this identity. Do you see the game that way? Like he could actually say that,
right?
Most players. I don't even know if most players would think that deeply about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And if they wanted to, they wouldn't have that kind of access to their boss to ask that question.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
the door wouldn't be that open.
Yeah. Like Ty Emberson isn't going to Stan Bowman and saying, hey, it seems like grit's really important in the NHL. Do you think we're going to have some gritty players? Like
Ty Emberson's probably...
You worry about making the team, buddy.
Probably walking the other way when he sees Stan Bowman coming down the hall.
So anyway, I know we're kind of joking, but I mean that it is interesting. And then there again, these are probably. I don't think Connor is going in there and saying, "This player has to go. This player can't go." Like it's probably more philosophical things, right? Or how do you see this role? Or I don't know, maybe even. Well, like I said, just maybe philosophical stuff. How do we see the game? Are you building something that's sustainable? Like, sure, it would be relevant if I were Connor McDavid to look at the Oilers' organizational depth and think, well, maybe it's not so great. We've traded away a lot of first-round draft picks. Two of the better prospects might have to be in the NHL if you look at Savoie and Howard, right? So maybe that's the type of thing. Maybe Connor's saying, okay, how are we, if we're always trading away the number one draft pick, how are you going to build? Okay. And maybe, and this is just me speculating, but maybe Bowman is saying, okay, well, there might be 1 year where we got to keep that pick, even if we're going to be good. Or maybe he's saying, you know what? I believe in David Tomasek. So if he's good, then you'll have more trust in me that we can get guys out of Europe that might be have been under the radar. I'm just using these players as an example. But I think that these are the types of discussions that are happening, as opposed to Connor saying, we better be this good, Stan, or I'm walking. Like, that's not what's happening.
Right.
No,
I completely agree. Talking at a higher level of hockey,
right,
as opposed to, well, why'd you bring him in?
Right.
No, it's too far. That's happened.
Right.
You have to look now to the future and see how this team stacks up moving forward. And what are some pieces that need to come in? What are some pieces that maybe need to be upgraded? Right? He could have those. That's Connor McDavid you're talking to. He can he can have whatever conversation he wants with Stan Bowman right now, to be quite honest. He's going to have his ear.
Yeah. All right. We'll continue talking about Connor McDavid. We'll dive into some stuff with Jake Walman as well. More from head coach Kris Knoblauch. He had a pretty interesting clip about a potential new contract for himself behind the bench of the team as well. Jason Smith is going to join us in about 20 minutes to talk some Oil Kings. 4 o'clock break.
The Lock Shop.
The thing that really concerned me about the comments is that he kept just saying 25-26.
Okay.
He said it multiple times, so he didn't allude to the future with the organization. He says he has strong belief in this team in 25-26. So then Elliot Friedman asked him, well, what do you need to see moving forward? And he said nothing. Like, it's not like he said, I fully believe in this organization. He said, I fully believe in this team for 25-26.
The Lock Shop, weekday mornings at 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Lobsterfest is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. Saturday, October 4th at 6 p.m. A pound and a half of fresh Atlantic lobster with all the fixins for just $49.99. Pair it with a stein of Alexander Keith. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit WJSportsTalk.com today.
You've heard the name, but what does it mean? For over 66 years, William Huff Advertising has supplied signage from screen printing to digital to LED with design, production, and install in-house. It's a one-stop shop for all your signage needs. Edmonton owned and operated, William Huff has been trusted by the biggest companies and teams in the City of Champions and many others across the country to do the job. If you're looking for a way to get the word out about your company or event, they are the answer. Go to www.williamhuff.com. Their results speak for themselves.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman spoke to the media, with Bowman sharing that there's no return date set for Zack Hyman as he recovers from a wrist injury. And he also touched on the McDavid contract situation, stating, quote, he's all about winning. Bowman also confirmed that the team is not interested in free agent Carter Hart. And 7 players were on the Elks injury report today. Jared Brinkman, Nick Anderson, and Royce Metier sidelined with injury, having Josiah Shackle for a full participant for the second straight day as he continues to return from a rib injury. On the field, San Francisco's Brock Purdy is progressing from his toe and left shoulder injury. He's limited at practice for the 49ers today. Head coach Kyle Shanahan saying that Purdy, quote, has a chance for Sunday's game. And from Tampa, the Jays battle the Rays. First pitch just after 5. Kevin Gausman on the mound for that one. 2 games are underway. Top of the 10th, the Giants and D-backs are runless. And in curling, Canadian Brad Gushu has announced that he will retire at the end of the upcoming season, with the 45-year-old St. John's native winning Olympic gold and 6 Brier Cups in his career. I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your Sports Update. Hour 2 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
All right, hope you're having a great day. Medicals today for the Edmonton Oilers. We'll get to a little bit from Zack Hyman a little bit later on as well. Not sure when we're going to see him in game action, but he will elaborate on the recovery from that wrist injury that kept them out of the Stanley Cup final. Some comments from Jake Walman, Kris Knoblauch, more from Stan Bowman as we move along through the course of the afternoon. We are always happy to hear from you. You can text us the afternoon inbox, 780-218-9999. Presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant, where the entire menu is 50% off 7 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m.
I want to get your take on this text that came in. You guys, McDavid is not lying. He wants to win in Edmonton, but he makes a point of only addressing this year. Here are a few options to explain this. He's provided 5 options.
Oh, wow. Nice. Okay.
1, McDavid is not re-signing in Edmonton.
That's possible, yes.
2, McDavid, together with management, is pretending not to re-sign in Edmonton to mess with other teams, but ultimately will in the offseason.
I think that is unlikely.
3, McDavid is going to re-sign in the near future, but truly hasn't figured out what the term needs to be.
I think that's very likely.
4, McDavid is waiting till the other 97 in Minnesota signs so he can sign for more.
Possible.
5, you're going to like this one, Riedrich. McDavid is just doing everyone in the press, and especially EST, a favor by joking around and not doing anything for a while.
Entertaining suggestion, and highly unlikely.
3 or 4 are probably the 1, 3 or 4 are probably the likeliest candidates there?
That's the thing. He to me, the simplest thing in all this is that he just doesn't know the length. He just, because as we've been saying, the money. I mean, if he went to the Oilers and said, "Look, I want to be paid $18,642,307.11 per year," they would say, "Yep, fair number." Like, you know what I mean? It's as long as it's, because he can't make more than 20% of the cap. As long as it's within that realm, they're probably not going to say no, right?
Yeah.
So. And the Oilers would probably gladly sign him for max length, 8 years. So maybe it's that simple. Maybe he just is like, gosh darn it, I'm not sure when I want to go through this again. Or I'm not sure how old I want to be when I go through this again.
And if that's the case, just sign a shorter term.
Right.
Then you still hold all the cards 2 or 3 or 4 years down the road.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he thinks, okay, I want to play in the NHL till I'm 40. Or maybe he's thinking, I got 12 seasons left. So do I want to sign a 4 now and an 8 later? Do I want to try to sign 3 4s? Do I want to sign an 8 now and then maybe I try to sign 2 2s before? Like, who knows what he's thinking? Who knows what he's thinking?
Ash Muggs in the nasty chat. If he wants to have the team upgraded for the future and have Bowman sign players that he can't be holding them hostage, then he can't be holding them hostage. How can they build a team for the future when they do not know his plan?
Yeah. Yeah, I just think that the simplest thing to me is that he's just deciding how long he wants the deal to be.
But okay, then I'm going to keep going back to these interviews then, because I have a hard time looking past them. For a player that traditionally hasn't done this many in-depth sit-downs. Now, I know this is a different year, a different situation. But to me, there's got to be something of a message from his camp. I'm not saying Connor McDavid probably didn't want to do these, but somebody on his team may have instructed him to do this. At least that's my thought. But what's the messaging then? Why? Why put this out there more than it already is?
Well, I don't know that. Again, that's the thing.
Because they're all calculated.
Not being him.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just thinks, okay, someone wants to talk to me, I'll talk to them. Maybe it's that simple.
It may be. It may be, Reid.
Somebody requested this. You know,
maybe we should just get him on the show.
Elliott's a national figure. I'll go do it.
Well, there's that, right? Sure.
Yeah.
Any press is good press.
Yeah. And yesterday was what they call the Oilers car wash day. And this is where, so they don't wash cars. They go through a variety of stations. So, when you go to the game and somebody scores and they put his video on the scoreboard, he's doing some pose, like holding the stick over his shoulder,
right.
or pointing. They film all those during the car wash yesterday. I used to do this when I was at Ched. So we had what's called returns, so it's coming back from a commercial and some music is playing. Hi, this is Darnell Nurse from the Edmonton Oilers. You're listening to Inside Sports with Reid Wilkins on Oilers Radio 630 Ched. I would go record all those from maybe 12 to 15 players on car wash day. And like with that, it was like everything. It was like during Christmas, it'd be like, hey, this is Sam Gagne of your Edmonton Oilers. Remember this Christmas, donate to 630 Ched, Santa's Anonymous. That's santasanonymous.ca. All that kind of stuff happens on car wash day. So part of this car wash day was that Friedman and Bukauskas were there, and Connor sat down with them. So for him, it was probably, okay, here's a still. Pods? No, you don't have to go talk to Elliott. You skip this station. Oh, no, Connor, you're in on this station. Okay.
So that was yesterday?
Yes.
Interesting. So you'd have to go do that in your old role.
Yeah, they'd put me in a room, and I'd have a page of the script, and the player would come in, and I'd say, okay, we got to do this. Some guys would kind of remember, oh, yeah, we did this last year. I did, side note, I found that if I wanted to get the best out of guys, I would tell them, because sometimes they would say, like, who else has done this? And I'd be like, oh, Gagne just did it. He was outstanding, like the best I've ever.
Right.
And then they would perk up and be like, oh, really?
Competitors.
Oh, yeah. Like, it was crazy. Yeah, it took me too long to figure that out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting little tidbit.
Yeah, a little bit behind the scenes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Here's behind the scenes.
Yeah. And some guys, like, they would want to hold the mic, and other guys, like, they'd want me to hold it like they were being interviewed. Like, very, very interesting stuff. All right, 780-218-9999 is how you get in touch. The River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Fired Up, presented by Gemco Fireplaces, proudly serving Edmonton and area for 45 years. The authorized dealer for Napoleon Fireplaces. Whether it's gas or wood burning, look no further than Canadian-made Napoleon Fireplaces. All the Napoleon products you need are available at Gemco, 9281 50th Street. We're at Jason Smith coming up. Let's do the Knoblauch clip here.
Sure.
For Fired Up. So at the end of Kris Knoblauch's availability, he was asked about, hey, you're on expiring contract as well. You're going into the final year of your deal.
I'd be surprised if anyone knew that I was going in my last year of my contract because of everything else that's going on. So, hopefully when things get, we'll move on that quickly, hopefully. But yes, I am on my last year contract, and hopefully something gets done before we get going.
Does that sound to you like we're going to have a Knoblauch extension before the season starts? The way he said that?
Yeah. Don't think anybody's really thinking about it.
To me, it sounds like they're at least talking about it. That he said, hopefully we'll have something done before the season starts. I would think if there hadn't even been any discussions, he would just be like, well, going into my final year of my deal. I love coaching here. We'll see what happens. But he said, hopefully we'll have something done before the season starts. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's being discussed as well.
How long would that extension be?
3. Most coaching contracts are 3.
But that doesn't mean...
Or maybe it'd be a 2-year extension, so they'd have them for this year and then 2 beyond. But 3 max.
3 max.
Most coaching agreements are 3, unless you're a more established... Like I'm sure Cooper in Tampa Bay could be like, I want a lifetime deal. Yeah.
Right.
But as we know, most coaches in the NHL often get 3-year deals and don't make it to the end of those. So that was interesting there from Knoblauch. Knoblauch also asked, how's the team handling the McDavid situation? Any concerns about distractions in the dressing room or that kind of stuff?
I think this group can handle pretty much anything, and they've seen pretty much anything. And it's not a young group, so there's been a lot of situations where these players have gone through similar circumstances. Obviously not the circumstance of having a player at Connor's level, not going into his last year contract, all that stuff. But I think everyone's been through it long enough that I don't think it'll be a distraction. And also there's a team that's very focused, dedicated, and just worried about doing the best that they can do. So, I don't think that's going to be much of an issue.
All right, a little bit from Knoblauch on that.
You played that when you were cutting it, and I don't know how you can't be distracted. If the best player on your team is still in limbo, I just don't know how you can just, we're good. It's all good. Everything's fine. When the best player in the world might not be on your team next year.
Yeah, but I guess the counter to that, though, is how much do they think about next year when they're getting on a plane after a game in Pittsburgh and they got to play in Philly the next day?
Okay, the counter to that is that they probably don't, but maybe now they are. Or maybe in some part of their brain, it's come up. But generally, you would not. Next year's next year. Nobody's worried about that. We got to worry about this year. But if the longer this goes on, I just don't know how it can't creep into the minds of, a Leon Draisaitl. And I want to get to this too. I know you're going through some clips here, but this is what was put out after that interview with Elliot Friedman and Kyle Bukauskas. This is a quote from Elliot Friedman. I think I've been around long enough to know when there's fear of losing someone. I don't feel that here. I just don't. Elliot Friedman on the McDavid extension. Elliot's pretty, what would you say he's the most prolific insider?
I'd say for me, I think he's extremely well respected. He doesn't sensationalize. He gets to the point. He's honest. He's straightforward. He simplifies when possible.
So, maybe there's some comfort for Oilers fans in that statement. He was the guy interviewing him.
Yeah. 780-218-9999 River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. Of course, Jay and I are coming to you from the Canadian Brewhouse Tuesday. Win big this football season at the Canadian Brewhouse. Score your shot at a trip to the Super Bowl, weekly prizes, and more, plus $1 off Budweiser and Bud Light tankards. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com. Plenty more from, we'll have some from Walman, more from Knoblauch, from Bowman. We'll keep talking about the McDavid stuff, but we do want to spend some time with the head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, Jason Smith, when we get back.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman addressed Connor McDavid's possible contract extension, stating that, quote, he wants nothing more than to win in Edmonton. Bowman also shared that Zack Hyman's return to the team is unknown as he recovers from a wrist injury, adding that the team is not interested in free agent Carter Hart. While in curling, 45-year-old Canadian Brad Gushue has announced that the 2025-26 season will be his final year before retirement. The Olympic gold medalist has won 6 Brier Cups in his career. For the Elks, Nick Anderson, Royce Metier, and Jared Brinkman did not practice. Anderson out with a hip injury. Brinkman sidelined with a shoulder and toe issue, while Metier recovers from an Achilles injury. And down in Tampa, the Jays and Rays hit the field just after 5. Toronto up 2-0 in their current series. Kevin Gausman, the starter for the Jays. And right now, 2 games are underway, including the Braves up 5-3 over the Nationals entering the 8th inning. This sports update is brought to you by Advantage Sports Medicine. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists, and you're stuck with a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach that's trusted by the best in the game. Call them at 780-460-9977 or visit their website at advantagesportmed.ca to book an appointment today. Jason Smith checks in after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric.
Certainly the Ticats feel the Elks' pain because they were in that frame of mind following the Labor Day game and a last-second loss against the Argos. So I think the Ticats are really prepared for a slobber knocker of a game because Edmonton can run the ball, can play some pretty good defense. They have some weapons, always good on special teams with Javon Leake. I think this is going to be maybe a high-scoring game. Maybe both teams get into the 30s.
The Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric. Weekday mornings 6 to 9. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
When you cater with Royal Pizza, you're getting the same great pizzas, pastas, and salads you love, just bigger and built for a crowd. Perfect for teams, offices, or parties, Royal Pizza's catering brings real value around $10 per person. Delicious, high quality, and easy. If you like their pastas, you'll love their catering pastas even more. Visit royalpizza.ca or contact your local store for exact pricing and details.
So come on home, Royal Pizza, still making it great.
When gambling, set a budget before you play. Stay informed and visit GameSenseAB.ca to learn how. Remember, if you gamble, use your game sense.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas. Whoa, blurring them dotted lines, killing.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Since 1952, William Huff has been the heartbeat of Edmonton's advertising world. From humble beginnings to a citywide powerhouse, we've been the go-to for signage from print to design and installation. Partnering with Edmonton's top sports franchises and major events, we've helped shape the city's global reputation. Our secret? Unmatched customer service, decades of experience, and a passion for excellence we call the William Huff Advantage. Visit us online at williamhuff.com. All
right, hope you're having a great afternoon. Oilers on the ice for training camp tomorrow. Split squad preseason games at Rogers Place and in Calgary Sunday evening. The Elks continuing to practice. They are at Hamilton on Saturday. Another big game for the Green and Gold. 5 o'clock game. We're going to have the Green and Gold kickoff show at 4 o'clock Saturday with Jason Milne and Matthew Awanek. And then, of course, they will be on after the game for the post-game show as well. Oil Kings home and home with Red Deer in Red Deer Friday, home game Saturday, and that brings us into Voices of the Game for Windsor Plywood Leduc, locally owned and operated since 1993. We're more than just plywood. We offer everything from doors and flooring to decking, fencing, and custom millwork. With a huge selection of hardwoods and knowledgeable staff, we're here for all your DIY needs. Windsor Plywood Leduc, the experts you need to know. And our voice of the game today is the head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings, Jason Smith. Jason, welcome back to the show. You're on with Reid and Jay. How are you doing?
Very good, guys. How about you?
Yeah, we're doing great. We love having you on the show. We're excited for the start of the season. As you know, I always enjoy getting a story or two. I wonder, just with NHL training camp started, can you take us back? I think it would have been the fall of 1993, probably a camp with the New Jersey Devils. You would have been 19 or 20, I think. What do you remember about that first camp? And were you the confident, aggressive player that Oilers fans came to love?
I don't know. I think any of those guys that are young, your first 2, 3, 4 training camps are always stressful, really, until you've established yourself as a player in the league and kind of know what to expect. I think they're nerve-wracking days, the on-ice physical, the off-ice physical, and all the things that go with it, the photoshops and the diversity training and the media training and everything that you go through. You kind of run a gauntlet of new things that most young guys haven't experienced, and it's just nice once you get on the ice and you can just worry about playing hockey and get rid of all the excess stuff.
Did you have to do, or maybe it came in during the course of your career, did you have to do the bike? What do they call that? The Wingate, where they see how Yeah.
In Jersey, they did a treadmill test, and it basically, you were on the treadmill and it just kept getting faster and steeper, and then sooner or later you got spit off the back and you were done. So it was kind of it was go till exhaustion, and try to survive as long as you could. Over the years, you kind of learn that you can mentally psych yourself out before you get on there. You just got to get on there and know that you put the work in the summer and get after it.
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I just, besides knowing how your team played in the preseason, and we had Kevin Radomski in last week talking about this, but I wanted to get your perspective as the coach. I mean, you hit some smaller communities for the preseason in Northern Alberta, specifically Hinton and Westlock. What was it like in playing in some of those rinks and some of those communities and exposing the Oil Kings to those towns?
Oh, I think it's great for those towns. I think the people in the communities were great, welcoming to the guys, and for players to get the chance, especially our young group of guys with so many guys away at NHL camps, they got a real opportunity to put their best foot forward and experience kind of beginning stages of the Western League for some of them, their first exhibition games, and really see the pace and the tempo that the next couple of years could bring for them in the future.
I think I know how you're going to answer this question, but I have to ask it. The rankings came out, the preseason rankings for the Canadian Hockey League. The Edmonton Oil Kings are 6th in amongst all 3 leagues, and I think only Spokane is higher for Western Hockey League teams. What does that mean to you before the season starts here?
You know what? It's based on projection. I think what we got to do as a team is go out and play and prove that we're a quality team, and results are in the pudding, right? Isn't that what they always say? You got to go out and put your best foot forward, and we have to go out and play. I think people that watch the league and are around the leagues put those rankings together, and I mean nobody's played a game yet, so it's based on what ifs, and we're going to go out and play and compete, and hopefully leave ourselves in a good situation.
You mentioned some players at NHL camps. Who do you have away right now? And then is it just a holding pattern, just a waiting game to see if and when you get them back?
Yeah, I mean, we've got our 3 check forwards up front are all the way, and then obviously Fids and Alcos on the back end are still away. We got McKenzie back, which is great for our back end. He's just a stable force back there and a leader in the locker room. So that's where we're at right now, and we're just going to play with the players we have. I think we're confident in the structure we have and the work the guys have put in through training camp that we'll be able to go out and compete and play some quality games here until the rest of our roster is back.
Putting in that structure, and look, it's a long season, right? So you can't put too much on the first few games. Are you pretty happy with what you've been able to put in place so far? Like, do you feel the guys are up to speed to where you want them to be right now, so you can keep building now that the games count in the standings?
Yeah, I think as a staff, we've tried to implement structure throughout our game, but not to go into the deepest detail. I think you got to pinpoint some finer points, and I think some of the basic details of playing hockey. Having your stick on the ice, having your head on a swivel, getting back inside the rink, working from the inside out. Those details are easy ones to relay those messages. And then structurally, we want to try, what we've tried to do is pinpoint a few ideas, especially in the D zone, and how we're going to want to break the puck out and make sure we have some structure in our neutral zone forecheck and our forecheck. But I mean, you can't pinpoint everything and hit the plateau and expect perfection. I think you want to give some starting points and some guidelines, and then we can look to build from those as we go here.
Jason, I've asked a few people this over the years, and I got to ask you because I feel there's so much speed in the game now there's so much skill. I mean, I used to have Kelly Rudy on my old show, and he said the last few years he started watching the warm-ups, and he would never really pay attention to the warm-up before because you'd see guys, balancing the puck or trying the Michigan or whatever, even like Leon scoring from bad angles. Like just in what you've seen through the NHL and the WHL over the years, like how much is the skill level and also the boldness of the players to try to, display their skill? How has that grown over the years?
Well, I mean, I think the speed of the game and the skill is kind of joined together. The guys are so much faster, so they can do things at a higher speed. I think, skating is something that I think pretty much every team in hockey looks to have throughout their lineup is guys that can skate and produce pace. And then the puck plays and the skill plays and the ability for, guys to attempt certain plays in the games. The game's a little different now. Back when I played or before I played, you wouldn't dare because somebody might want to put you through the boards or take your head off. And now, it's kind of become, a game, more of a game of skill than grit and determination and brute. And, a lot of players can, create those plays at high pace. And if you're not on your toes and aware, you're not really going to be able to defend them. So you're concentrating on keeping up with the pace of play and the skill of the game. And you have to, be worried about being in a good position to defend it and not necessarily inflict pain on somebody.
So what's your threshold as a coach for a player? Okay, like, are you one of those sort of philosophies, when you have the puck, it's your time. When we don't have the puck, you do what I say. Like, if you say to a guy, like, hey, if you think it's a risk, but you're in the offensive zone and it's a home run play, do you want them to feel empowered to go for those when they're on the attack?
Yeah, in zone, like, and offensively, I mean, I got two areas of the ice that are really important for us as a staff. One is our blue line, getting the puck out, and at the offensive blue line, getting the puck in, but recognizing if you have time and space to make a play, and it can be a fancy player or a pretty player, or if it's a simple play, if you have time and space and the defense have bad gap or you've got numbers, be creative, take advantage of that space. And if you do happen to turn that puck over, then I need you to back check and reload through the middle of the rink and get back to our end and help get the puck back. So, there's accountability both ways, but, being creative and making offensive plays is something that allows your team to create offense off the rush and, create offense in the O-zone. But if you do turn the puck over or, somebody makes a real good defensive play, then get on your horse and let's get back, reload into our zone and work to get that puck back again so we can go back to the O-zone.
Well, we're looking forward to a great Oil King season and talking to you and your players throughout the course of the year. Now, one great story about the Oil Kings that and you're going to experience this year, and I mentioned we had Radomski and all the promotions, all the fun for fans, and I know you're hoping to give them plenty to cheer about. But I gotta ask you the Taylor Swift question. You got the Taylor Swift tribute artist after the game on Saturday. Are you a Swiftie? I can't believe I'm asking Jason Smith this question. Anybody in your life a Swiftie?
You know what? My daughters do enjoy her. I pretty much over the years have been locked into who's ever in the car. If I'm driving, I don't have control of the music, so I pretty much have listened to every song on the market, and some I enjoy and some I don't. But you know what? That's just a part of going through that stage in life where you drive your kids around, I guess, right?
Right. So you by osmosis, you know the music, which is pretty cool.
That's a good dad answer. That's a dad answer there. That's good. Yeah,
for sure.
Jason, thanks a lot for doing this. We love having you on the show. And like I said, we'll be featuring some of your players throughout the year as well. All the best against the Rebels in the home and home this weekend.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Take care.
Jason Smith checking in, head coach of the Edmonton Oil Kings. Love talking to him. He's ready to go. I think you can hear the professionalism, the calmness, the approach, the embracing the process in his answers. He's like, yeah, we got some structural things. We got to keep building. We've emphasized this. Like, I loved how he said, we've emphasized the blue lines. And I loved how he's saying, if you think you can make a play, I will trust you as an offensive player to make the play if you got the time and the space. Like, don't,
Well, and
you got room, you go for it,
And there's a couple no-go zones.
Right.
There are clear set rules here. Please follow and abide by them.
Yeah. Yeah. So we love having Jason Smith.
So that's this
on the
Saturday.
Show. Yeah. So
September 20th.
Right. They're in Red Deer Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they return home to Rogers Place this Saturday, September 20th, 4 p.m. with it's not Taylor Swift. It's a Taylor Swift impersonator. One of the best in the world, apparently. And they're going to have
they
some
prefer the term tribute artist. Don't
tribute
they?
artist.
Yes.
It sounds like,
but impersonator, because she's not coming out and like impersonating Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I believe she is.
Well, I guess
mannerisms, dress.
Yeah,
attire,
but I think the common term
songs,
is tribute artist. Yeah,
tribute artist to me is at least the way I would think of it is someone that's no longer with us, like an Elvis Presley tribute artist.
Oh, I see. That's
what I mean.
So you'd have a different differentiation there. So do you have now? Obviously, I do not have children.
Yes,
I guess it's the Coob and Benny and Trev YTT are the closest I have.
Yeah, well, they need your guidance.
They need my guidance. But
kids.
as a dad, now do you have that you become aware of some of the pop music of the day because of your daughters?
Yeah, but like exactly like Jason Smith said, whoever's sitting in the front seat beside me,
right?
They dictate what music's played, and I roll with it. I'm cool.
But now, as a result, are you like, oh, I didn't realize this band was that, or that's who these people are, or does it not stick with you?
Yeah, because it shows the name of the artist and all that. But I will, if it's like, no, we're not listening to this garbage, I will switch it back to The Highway, which is my go-to.
You will switch off.
Yeah, and then I'll have to wait for them to have enough gumption to turn it to another song.
Okay.
But my daughter, Rose, my middle daughter, she's on it.
Okay.
She will literally flip through station. She'll go all through the satellite radio until she finds something. Sometimes it's 70s on 7.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she'll find cool stuff.
So, yeah, it is the Swiftie opening. So I'm just saying, I understand your point. Yep. On the Oil Kings website,
yes,
Carla Sacco is referred to as a Taylor Swift tribute artist.
Okay,
right.
Well, then I'm wrong.
You're saying you have a different definition of tribute artist, which is fine.
Should we get to a couple limericks?
Yes, do it.
Bronco Nick. He says, so, has Connor signed yet? Blood pressures are up, I bet. Could he be trolling? No, if I were polling. I think he'll sign soon, so don't fret. Now, these are a couple that came in. This is self-admitted from Trevor Kirk. I'll read one. It was Chat GPT generated. McDavid T limericks. McDavid was steaming, you see, when Leon poured out all his tea. He shouted, "Old friend, this could be the end. I'll pack up and sign overseas."
So this is a reference to our controversy.
I think it's
Jasmine. I was on holidays when that happened. That
controversy
was the last 2 weeks
of the year.
So Jasmine spilled out Eric's tea. Can you tell this story in 10 seconds?
Yeah. Eric had a pot of herbal tea in the coffee pot.
Okay.
It was, I don't know, half full. She came in, saw that, and wanted coffee for the hangout, dumped out Eric's tea, and then made about a 2-cup pot of coffee.
Why would she not ask whose tea it was?
That's a great question.
Holy crap. Okay.
She explained. She admitted that maybe she was in the wrong.
But a little bit of bad judgment, yeah.
And I mean, hey, it led to an Esties. So in her case, it was worth it.
It's a win-win. Well, a win, I guess.
Well, a win, yeah.
just win once.
We've got more limericks, so we'll get to them in a bit.
We'll do them a little bit later on. You can post in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up if you're there as well. We are within 20 of getting to 100, and the show is not even 2/3 of the way other. So don't be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click, click, click away.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
And of course, Edmonton Sports Talk is presented by Play Alberta. Make your bets count for you and everyone else with the Play Alberta app with hundreds of player prop bets on the biggest leagues NFL, CFL, NHL, NBA, Major League Baseball, you name it. You're not just playing for fun, you're supporting your province. Play Alberta Revenue helps fund Alberta programs and services. Deposit $50 today with the promo code YAG50 and get an exclusive $50 free bet to get started. More for what?
Coob, come on.
What's Coob doing?
Show off your work.
Show off your work. What happened?
I was just prepping for the next shot because we have various shots for those who are listeners here. On the YouTube.
If you're on YouTube, you'll see it.
Yeah,
we'll describe it otherwise.
I was going to show off the Esties leading into my thank you leading into my sports update because it's kind of hard. I got to click all the buttons here, but I got to show it off, man. I got to flex.
2-time winning.
When I got
Estie.
Yeah, last year I won
2 years in a row.
Moment of the Year for being hired on air on the Nielsen Show back in April of 24.
That was fantastic.
That was ages ago now. And then, just last night, a song me and Josh Clausen made called
Does Josh
Gas,
know that he won?
Bricks. Yes, he actually texted me congratulations, which I meant to text him, but I wanted to make it thoughtful, after the night was done and to text him this morning, but he got to it first.
Now, you made it sound unintentionally like Josh had died.
Which
did you not
did
say,
not.
and also thanks to Josh Clausen, then did you not accidentally say no longer with us?
I said he is not with us.
Not with us, but then he kissed the sky as if he was in heaven.
The context of saying he's not with us means he passed, which he didn't, so I cracked the joke.
It was hilarious. The sky kiss.
It was so good.
I won as, it went as well as I thought it would.
Shotgun Sports Network says we will be flexing our Elks Call tonight too, Coop. Yeah, Elks Call got Friends of EST.
They'll be flexing their award.
Yeah, they got Friends of EST. Great category, great list. Yeah, we had a lot of fun last night. We will have the Big Uke. He got most dedicated, nasty, and nasty of the year.
It's the summer of
which
youth.
is pretty cool.
Because at the Nasty Bash, he got baptized.
Oh, right.
And there's also Labor Day Monday. How can we forget that?
Supersized Indiana Jones.
That was incredible. Yeah, it was great. I'm excited to have him on.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Your wife was there. My mom and dad were there. Other family and friends of EST staffers were there. So we're incredibly well supported.
And by the way, I think next year I'm going to bring my girls. I think I'm going to bring the whole family.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Because it is a fun night.
Well, Coop there could be an Estie for EST Animal of the Year.
Oh, he'd win. Oh. I'll just have to start bringing him in on the regular. Once a month, bring in Coop. Coop the Corgi. Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. A Coop day of the week.
Just strap this to his head and just walk around with it.
The Stanley Coop.
Tango in the Nasty Chat say McDavid sign yet. That's pretty funny.
It is.
That is funny. Tango, bonus point for you. Tango, I'm going to tell you something. Take the rest of the day off.
Whoa!
Wherever you are. I don't. Do we know Tango? I'm not sure I know Tango. I'm bad at remembering people. Tango, take the rest of the day off.
That's high praise.
Well, I'm just saying.
I think I would win Best J of the year at EST.
Yeah, probably.
Unanimous, I believe.
Should be unanimous. I agree with that.
When we're 5 years into the Esties and I still don't have an Estie.
Did you win something last year?
No. They will make a category.
Were you up for Rookie of the Year last year?
Yeah, YouTube Trev got it.
Oh, YTT
got very deserving. He was here the whole year.
Yeah, you probably still should have been up for it this year.
Yeah, because you were new, right?
You were barely.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't.
That
was unwinnable.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about that. I did not vote for myself, not as the first choice. I think I put myself as the fourth. Well, so I put myself last. Well, we're going to do a break. All right. Here is the EST winning Coob. We'll get into some more Jake Walman stuff, Darnell Nurse stuff as we move along.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman spoke to the media, with Bowman sharing that there's no return date for Zack Hyman as he continues to recover from a wrist injury. He also touched on the McDavid contract situation, stating, quote, "He's all about winning." Bowman also confirmed that the team is not interested in signing free agent Carter Hart. 7 players were on the Elks injury report today. Jared Brinkman, Nick Anderson, and Royce Metier sidelined due to injury, with Josiah Shackle a full participant in practice for the second straight day as he returns from a rib injury. Down south, DC City Council has given their approval for a nearly $4 billion project, including a 65,000-seat stadium by 2030 to bring the Commanders back to DC. From Tampa, the Jays battle the Rays. First pitch goes just after 5 with Kevin Gausman on the mound. In just one game's live, the Braves hold a 6-3 lead over the Nationals in the 9th. While in curling, Canadian Brad Gushue has announced that he will retire at the end of the upcoming season. Gushue winning Olympic gold and 6 Briar Cups in his career. The Reid Wilkins Show returns after a brief pause. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The EST Hangout.
Oh, well, his wife got a restaurant. Who cares? I go, he's gonna sign for $140 million. I go, that $400,000 for the restaurant? Like, somebody will sell the name, somebody will buy it. True. Who cares about the restaurant? You go by body language and what he says. Yes, I want to win in Edmonton. Has he said, yes, I want to stay in Edmonton?
The EST Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. Weekday mornings 9 to 11, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
Win big this NFL season at the Canadian Brewhouse presented by Bud Light. You could win a trip to Super Bowl 60, plus prizes like smokers, Bud Light coolers, and a trip to an NFL home opener next season. Enjoy $1 off Bud Light and Budweiser tankers. Details at thecanadianbrewhouse.com.
You've always known GCL Diesel as the experts in diesel fuel systems, but did you know that GCL is also your source for turbochargers and turbo repair? As a turbo supplier for Garrett, Borg Warner, and Holset, GCL can provide genuine original equipment turbos at wholesale prices. Whether it's diesel, gas, natural gas, or performance, we can provide you with the turbo or custom repair you require. Turbo questions? We've got turbo answers. Visit us in the West End or online at GCLDiesel.com. GCL Diesel, turbochargers, understood.
All right, thanks, Coop. Here we are, rolling you through your Wednesday afternoon. Plenty of discussion about Connor McDavid and the contract extension that still remains unsigned. Stan Bowman, Oilers GM, taking some questions today. We played you some of those clips. Here's one, Bowman talking about the salary cap and McDavid's desire or lack of desire to make a ton of money.
When I talk to Connor, I've never gotten the impression that he's really focused on money. Like, that's not. So I don't. It may be, but I'm just saying when I talk to him, I just don't get that impression that he's always about. He's all about winning. He never talks about I need to make this much money. So, I mean, the cap is going up, which I think is it's great for our league. It shows that the league is healthy and the revenues are growing, and when that happens, salaries escalate. How that exactly relates to Connor. He would be in a better position to answer that one than me, but I think it's obviously better than the cap flatlining or going down.
No, McDavid in the scrum he did say basically I deserve to be well paid.
Yes.
Just paraphrase. He basically said I'm exceptional at what I do. I've worked hard at it. I deserve to be well paid. But yeah, these conversations with Bowman, as you and I have sort of alluded to, I don't think he's saying, you know what, Stan, it needs to be $18.5 million. And Stan Bowman's like, oh, I don't think Daryl's going to go for that. I mean,
Well, the question needs to be asked then is winning a Stanley Cup more important than money to him?
Because he's going to get the money.
He is.
He's going to get the money.
And
he already has a lot of money.
By all accounts, winning the Stanley Cup is his primary number one goal.
Right.
So, with a cap, if you're taking money at the top, then somebody's missing out at the bottom. So, there's so many moving parts to this, which we've explored to an extent.
Yes.
Maybe even too much, but I mean, it's topical. It is what the major sports story, well, the number one story in Edmonton is right now.
That it will be until he signs.
Yeah.
Quite frankly. Or at least it'll be a lingering, hanging over our head story if it doesn't happen, especially before the season starts. Some other things to touch on as well. New coaching staff, obviously. One of the weaknesses for the Oilers last season, with some exceptions of it being very good. I mean, the PK wasn't great. It could be great at times, but then it would drop to below average or poor. It'd be if it was great and then dropped to average, then you'd say the Oilers got a good PK. Knoblauch here touching a little bit on the new coaching staff and then maybe a new theory here on the penalty kill.
Yeah, the penalty kill's changing quite a bit. Well, one with personnel, we lose a lot of the forwards, but also with our strategy and what we want to do. And now for the personnel, who we feel that we've got many options of guys who can kill, and we want to find out which ones are the best at doing it, but also giving guys roles within our team and not having guys on the ice too much. And I think the exhibition games, we will see kind of a test period of which players are grasping the concepts and are really good in that role. So, fortunately, we have 8 exhibition games. We have a lot of opportunities to try out those guys, and then we'll find out who the best are. And now as for strategy, so we're making some changes and probably a little more of what you see other teams doing. I think we were kind of an outlier last year. I think there was probably 3 teams that were killing systems similar to what we were doing. And we're kind of more meshing to what more the rest of the league's doing.
So, last year, the last couple of years, we've seen trying to force the puck down low to the player off to the side. And think, well, if the puck is there, that's a lower percentage play. But then if you don't cover a pass coming from that location, or, if your goaltender's not making a save from that angle, then it's not working, right? So that's one thing to consider. Tactically, they might try some different things. And, there's been some turnover on the PK over the last couple of years. So I do think that's going to be a storyline. I mean, we're slowly putting together storylines to watch in the exhibition season. McDavid, Draisaitl, Nugent-Hopkins, like they're on the team. They're going to be good. But I think Savoie and Howard are going to be 2 primary storylines. Maybe you could throw Tomasek into that since he was praised by Stan Bowman today, not praised by Tom Gazzola. I think the play, I know there's a lot of focus on Stuart Skinner, but I do think the play of both goaltenders should be a storyline in the preseason because there really isn't a strong third goaltender knocking on the door for the NHL. And then I think you have to put in there who's on the PK, who can do it. So I think that's going to be one of the more competitive spots when we get into training camp. There are a couple ways to look at it from last season. One way, to say the sky isn't falling, you could say, well, the Oilers' PK last year was 16th in the league. That's literally right in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can say, okay, it wasn't terrible. And you could also say, okay, it was 78.2%. Carolina was on top at 83.6%. So you could also say it wasn't like right there, but it's not as if the Oilers were 78 and the top couple teams were all 87. So that's one way to look at it. I think the other way to look at it, and this is what I referenced before, it seemed like when they had a bad night or a bad stretch, it was, at 65% for a couple weeks.
There was no way out of it.
Or they needed a kill to get out of a period, tied or up a goal, and the PK couldn't get the big kill. So that was pretty telling, I think, what Knoblauch said. Like that's a concrete thing that I think we can look for in the PK. Who's going out there? how are they killing penalties that's going to look different from last year? I think that was a very concrete answer.
Well, who would you suggest then would be of the players that you expect to be there?
I'll throw Savoie into this.
Would you?
Well, because he said he can kill, right? And he has killed. So if you're a younger player trying to crack the roster and get as much ice time as you can, is that a way that you can make yourself a name that doesn't get scratched out of the lineup? I mean, look, I'm not opening up this whole storyline again, but just for some context.
Well, it has to be said.
Why did Jeff Skinner sometimes not get used? Or would he get scratched? He was not good enough to be on the Oilers' first power play, even though he was a power play player in other cities, and he was not a penalty killer. Why did somebody like Matthias Janmark or Adam Henrique always stay in the lineup? Well, they can kill, or they could take the occasional face-off. So Savoie, as a younger player, if he wants to get minutes, and maybe he isn't always on one of the top two lines, well, if you can kill penalties, there's going to be room for you. If he's fast and intelligent, if he can play 13 minutes a night, and if the Oilers are shorthanded 3 times a game and he gets 2.5 minutes shorthanded, you can't take him out, right?
No, for sure.
So I think this penalty kill deployment, the usage of players, that's going to be. I mean, we're talking about Emerson. That's an opportunity for him, right? Get out there and kill. He's going to be in that competition with Stetcher for the number 6 spot. So I thought that was an interesting comment there. Knoblauch looking at the penalty kill a little bit. Okay, so let's get to Savoie and Howard. So I asked Knoblauch today, what do these two guys have to do to earn a spot on the team? And if you really want to see who they can be, given their pedigree, do you need to play them with other offensive players?
The most important part of it is finding out how ready they are for the NHL. And it's tough to come to the NHL and, they are players who've typically played with best players. And it's also difficult, if they are put in that position, they are playing with our best players, they're playing against other teams' best players. And that's quite a load for a young player. And, I think training camp, we want to find out exactly where they are, how they'll help our team and who they'll complement and what players will complement them the most. So, I don't think I've got a clear indication right now that they have to play in this role or else somewhere else. I don't see it that way. So I think training camp's about earning a spot, finding an identity as a team, who and what lines mesh, that kind of thing. And I don't think it's important for a coach to say this is what our lines are going to be from day one and this is how we're going to move forward, because we've got a lot of uncertainties. We're missing about half our forwards from last year's Stanley Cup run, so there's going to be a lot of fluctuation. And I'd prefer that there wasn't fluctuation. I would like to have the certainty, but we've got some to start.
All right, so kind of a longer answer. What did you hear anything of note in there?
Well, it's just interesting to, who they are, who they will complement, who complements them.
Yeah.
So for a player like Savoie, what is the maybe pun intended, what is the goal for Matthew Savoie this year? Right? Is it to score goals? Or is it to be a complementary player on the second line to Leon Draisaitl?
Mm-hmm. Well, you got to score if you're in that role, though. You'd have to score sometimes.
Well, Podkolzin's had that role, right? And he wasn't putting up that many goals.
Yeah, that's fair.
So that, I think, is an interesting point and something to watch definitely through the preseason games, is where is a player like Matthew Savoie put? And is it in a complementary role to somebody that's on that line, or are they trying to have somebody complement him in his style of play? I think that's a great point you made, though, Reid, of having more of a two-way game, because that was ultimately that hurt the Oilers last year in a couple players like Arvidsson and Skinner that were just too one-dimensional and didn't have it up and down the ice or on special teams. You just can't have that on such a small, like an NHL roster.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to watch for sure.
Keep giving us the thumbs up if you're taking us in on YouTube. We are 8 away from 100, so don't be a pleasure delayer. Get in there and click. If you've already clicked, share the show with somebody else and say, hey, check these guys out. They're having fun. They love you. They love each other.
What?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying.
Whoa.
And you can text us 780-218-9999.
Emotional from the Esties.
That's the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort Casino, home of Tap 25 Restaurant. $18.99 prime rib special, available 7 days a week except show nights from 11:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Available for dine-in and takeout. Who's going to play with Jake Walman? We'll dive into that. We got buying or selling coming up. And Big Uke, big winner last night at the Esties. He's going to be a guest on this program around 5:30. Here's the 5 o'clock break.
Two guys and a goalie.
Cash, you want to dive into this Spencer Knight thing with Stewie's kid?
Here are Spencer Knight's numbers. 24 years old, 95 games in the NHL. Goal against of 282. Save percentage, 904. Now, you have Dustin Wolf contract, and then you have Edmonton Oilers fans who are like, oh, Stuart Skinner's going to sign for $2.5 million as a starting goalie.
I love your fan voice.
Two guys and a goalie, presented by GS Construction. Tuesday and Thursday afternoons at noon, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Looking for quality building materials and friendly advice? Visit us at Windsor Plywood Leduc, family owned and locally run since 1993. From interior materials for doors, flooring, baseboards, and all the finishing touches to all you need for your outdoor projects like cedar lumber for decks and fences. Plus, all the plywood you'd need. Our full-time on-staff carpenter can help with anything odd-sized or custom. And from domestic hardwoods to exotic selections, we've got you covered. And if we don't have it, we'll track it down for you. Windsor Plywood Leduc. We're the experts you need to know.
Weiss Johnson, whoa.
Hi, Dennis from Weiss Johnson here, and we're excited to be partnering up with the Nielsen Show and have a special deal exclusive for Nielsen Show listeners. Get 10% off any new Trane furnace, air conditioner, or heat pump installation from now until the end of October. Bundle a furnace with an AC or heat pump and get 25% off the package price. Get your home comfort now for all seasons with Weiss Johnson and Trane. Trane, it's hard to stop a train. Visit wjsportstalk.com today.
Fall football in your living room just became the Fan Zone. Before you move in the giant screen, make space to cheer on your favorite team with Sentinel Storage. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca.
Running your own small business takes courage, and as it grows, so does your team. That's why Alberta Blue Cross offers health, dental, life, disability, and wellness benefits designed for small businesses, because we know a healthy team means a thriving business. Join over 5,000 Alberta businesses who have chosen us to help their business grow and succeed. Alberta Blue Cross takes care of you and your employees, so you can take care of your business. Visit ab.bluecross.ca to find a plan that's right for you.
At Mind360, we invite you to embark on your mental health journey in a safe and comfortable space. Conveniently located in St. Albert, Mind360 has a diverse team of experienced clinicians that offer a broad range of tailored services for children, adults, and families. Furthermore, we are very proud to serve our military, veterans, and first responders. If you're looking for counseling, treatment, or assessment, understand that you are not alone. Contact Mind360 at mind360.ca to book an appointment today.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman was asked about Connor McDavid's possible contract extension, stating that, quote, he wants nothing more than to win in Edmonton. Bowman also noted that Zack Hyman has no return date for the team as he continues to recover from a wrist injury. Down the QE2, Michael Backlund has signed a 2-year extension with the Flames worth over $3 million annually. Back in E-Town, today's Elks injury report had Royce Mechie, Jared Brinkman, and Nick Anderson missing practice. Anderson with a hip injury, Brinkman recovering from a shoulder and toe issue, while Mechie sat out with an Achilles injury. Down south, the Commanders are set to return to D.C. with City Council approving a project worth over $4 billion to build a 65,000-seat stadium by 2030. MLB action, Toronto and Tampa go toe-to-toe once again. Jays winning the first 2 games of that series. Kevin Gausman on the bump for today. First pitch goes in just a moment. Right now, 2 games are live. Guardians and Tigers battling in the second, while the Athletics face the Red Sox in the first. Both of those games are locked at 0. So I'm Zachary Kubish. That was your sports update. Hour 3 of the Reid Wilkins Show starts right now.
Appreciate you tuning in. Reid Wilkins Show with Jason Milne on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. We love having you. A lot to talk about here with NHL training camps opening and, of course, the looming Connor McDavid, I guess, lack of contract extension being a big talking point here in oil country. The Edmonton Elks getting ready to play in Hamilton on Saturday. That'll be a 5 o'clock game. 4 o'clock here on EST for the Green and Gold kickoff show with Jay Milne and Matthew Wannick, and then they hop on right after the game to break it down. Elks lost by a point to Toronto this past Saturday. Cody Fajardo joined us yesterday to break that one down a little bit and to look ahead to playing Hamilton on Saturday. And the last time the Elks played Hamilton, they lost a close, heartbreaking game. They had a dropped pass in the end zone with about a minute left that can't say for sure cost them victory because Hamilton would have got the ball back, but obviously Edmonton would have had the lead with not a lot of time on the clock. 780-218-9999 is how you text us. River Cree Resort and Casino inbox. We are almost there if you're taking us in on YouTube or if you have time. Oh, we're at 100. So now we're pouring gravy. We're pouring thumb gravy on ourselves. That was the original title Def Leppard had for Pour Some Sugar on Me. Pour some thumb gravy on yourselves.
Or was it just pour thumb gravy on me?
Yeah, but it just didn't click quite as well. Yeah, it was pour thumb gravy on me. That'd be funny for misheard lyrics.
I'm just trying to think. Come on, what would the next line be? Pour thumb gravy on me.
In the name of lard.
Come on, let it simmer. You gotta add cornstarch. I'm hot, sticky, sweet.
Oh my goodness, that is incredible. Great band, that Def Leppard. Love them. They were here this summer.
Never heard.
Did you know I went to the concert this summer?
I heard rumblings.
Heard rumblings that I was there. All right, we're with you until 6 o'clock. We'll do words of the day. Big Uke is going to join us after his big double win at the Esties last night. We want to thank our good buddy Damon Bunting for presenting Buying or Selling. Damon, a consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Community-driven. He understands what it takes to make a difference in our city. Check him out, DamonBunting.com. Instagram handle, Damon Bunting Real Estate. Do you have some listener-generated buying or sellings? This sounds like potentially fun or horrifying.
Mucky says, gentlemen, Mucky here. Here are my thoughts on 97. He is focused on his legacy because he has never won a major team tournament. That wasn't a selected team, he has in parentheses. Lots of personal accolades, but nothing cementing his leadership.
Well, I guess, he won the Four Nations face-off, but I wouldn't consider that a major tournament. It was a very interesting event.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, didn't win OHL title. Obviously, hasn't won a Stanley Cup. I don't think... Okay, that was from Mucky?
Yeah.
Mucky, I have no problem with you or any other listener, fan using the term legacy, but I don't know that Connor McDavid, I don't know if they think about it, look, I got to worry about my legacy. No, I think they just want to win. Like, I don't know if he's sitting there thinking, well, I'm going to be compared to Wayne Gretzky and Mario Lemieux and Sidney Crosby and Guy Lafleur and Maurice Richard.
You don't think one iota comes...
I think... No, I'm not explaining that properly because I think they think about winning, and I think they're aware of what other great players did.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that in the moment, so Connor's, 28? I don't think he's thinking about what people are going to say about him when he's 58. You know what I mean?
Well, would you? I would imagine Connor McDavid wants to go down as one of the top 5 players to ever play in the NHL.
Oh, I'm sure he'd love to.
But with that comes what? In most people,
championships. Right.
So it's maybe not in the front of his brain, but it's certainly there.
But it's
certainly a motivating factor.
To me, though, it's just I want to win the Stanley Cup, not like I have to have a legacy.
Well, Connor McDavid does have a legacy already, right? He's a talent that can't be ignored.
True.
Now, what's going to cement that legacy and push him further up on whatever lists you want to talk about is going to be a Stanley Cup and or cups.
Legacy, the lasting impact or way someone will be remembered. Well, this says after death. So, okay, here's the thing. I think he thinks about wanting to win and winning to be important and wanting to be a guy that won the Stanley Cup, of course. But I don't think he thinks about how he's going to be thought about, if you get what I'm saying. He just wants to win.
Yep.
He knows that when he's 70 years old and sitting on the porch at Muskoka or managing Bar Trove downtown, he'll be the maitre d'.
Of course.
Like Rocky, greeting people. I think he just wants, for his personal satisfaction and feeling of accomplishment, I won the Stanley Cup. I was part of a great team. I captained the team to the Stanley Cup. I don't necessarily he is thinking about, I wonder what the history books are going to say about me. I wonder what my paragraph on Wikipedia will say. I don't think that they think about legacy in that way. I think they're driven by their own sense of personal accomplishment and desire.
Yes, but both things can be true at the same time. Because you don't tell me that Gretzky's happy for his legacy now, for what he did back in the 80s primarily.
Oh, sure.
Right? That was created then.
I guess. And I guess you could say, okay, it was some piece for Ovechkin to have won the Stanley Cup.
A big piece.
But was he thinking about, if I don't win it, what are people going to say about me? I think no, they're just caught.
Maybe he is.
No,
but here's the thing: if people, that might even drive you more, because what are people going to say if I don't win it? Then I'm not the greatest player, or I'm not in that same discussion as the greats who have also won championships and, oh, by the way, led their teams to championships.
Right.
Because that's what the greatest do.
Yeah, I think I understand what you and Mucky are saying. And maybe I'm splitting hairs a little bit. I just think that their perspective is just more driven by their passion as opposed to, and I guess you could say, well, it goes hand in hand. But I don't know. Like if Connor, let me put it this way. If Connor McDavid, let's say the NHL existed, but it had no fans and no media coverage, he would still want to win just as badly.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like if hockey were never written about or talked about, I think he would still want to win. What else do we have?
This comes in from C. Hendo.
Uh-oh.
Good afternoon, fellas. I played junior football with C. Hendo.
Really?
We were roomies.
Oh, cool. Good athlete?
Hell of an athlete. Firefighter now.
Oh, nice.
Appreciate you, buddy. I have a theory I'd like to toss out there. Maybe Connor is tired of having to drive through all the downtown and west construction on the way to the rink.
Well, you got me here.
He's been stuck in traffic his whole career.
This is a good point.
This is probably the best take.
This explains
it all.
That's as strong as any other take.
I had to drive downtown
to get me
to pick you up yesterday, and I almost pulled over and threw up.
Yeah, it's awful.
I couldn't believe it.
Now, my neighborhood is not awful.
Your neighborhood's lovely.
Right now, well, because like we were saying in your vehicle, 104th Ave and Jasper Avenue are both suck. And you can still, left-hand turns are still allowed on these streets and avenues that are down to a single lane. So if one person wants to turn left, I don't blame them. Like they're following the rules, but that could stop traffic for an entire sequence through the light. That just one car could get through the light, and they're probably just turning last minute on the yellow.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Was
it hard getting into Oliver too? Which way did you come in?
Well, I had to go down Jasper. I probably didn't have to.
Well, that's the thing. You can't.
But I'm not keen to all the back roads and
there are any
the
that
secret
really
avenues.
Help. Because to get in, you either got to use 116 or 124. You can't use each individual road from 104th.
Right.
Off Jasper, you can.
I probably could have exited off of 109th and taken like 100 and First Ave or something like that. Funny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or 99th Ave. Something like that.
Well, you could have tried 100th Ave, and then that turns into the promenade. And then looped up 121st and come in to get me. But I appreciate you driving me though, buddy. That was awesome.
I'm honored to have you.
You're honored to have earned my appreciation.
Says, I think legacy matters to players as much as fans. I present Exhibit A. One Daniel Marino.
Dan Marino.
Yeah. He's not in the top 5 quarterback conversation.
People say, well, he never won.
Because he never won a championship.
Wasn't his first or second year he was in the Super Bowl?
This is a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm out to lunch on that one. I don't know. That's just how I see it.
This comes in from Blair in Calgary.
Hey, Blair.
La 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 la.
What's the matter? Is he singing?
I'm hot. Sticky sweet. Can you even pour me on your meat? Yeah.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Pour some gravy on me.
What a hit.
What a hit. That's going to be our Weird Al version of the song. We should record that.
And Ian says, as I'm stuck in traffic on the way from Meadowlark to downtown. Had to detour all over the place.
Well, okay, and then getting out to West Ed, because, the LRT construction continues all the way to West. So I don't go, like most Edmontonians, I don't go to West Edmonton Mall a lot. So I went for the 3x3.
Yes.
Pulsar asked me to do play-by-play for the women's semis.
Oh, that's a gong show there.
So, and I didn't realize. So, yeah, you got to go down to 87th Avenue, and then there's LRT construction there. But I also, when I got to the mall, it was impressive because the track is an elevated track, and it's like,
it's a real deal.
It's getting done. Like, it's getting done. Like, I know it's probably still another year or two, but stuff is happening, whether you like the project or not. Like, it is progressing. And even as much as in Oliver, it's like, oh my God, we're boxed in here. It is progressing. Like, you cross, there's track down. Like, things are happening. But yeah, the station at West Edmonton Mall, I think it'll look like quite something when it's finished. And then I was there. And then I was at West Ed Mall late. So I was there right at the beginning of August, and then I was there late August because I went to, when I was helping with my cousin's wedding, I went to pick up something there. And it's like, oh, there's even more finished, like with the elevated track and stuff. So it is coming along, but yeah, it's a little. That's affecting a lot of the city. But the stuff on Jasper Ave is not LRT. Like you asked me that yesterday, and I was like, no, the LRT's 104. Jasper, they're just, I don't know, remodeling it or doing new sidewalks. I'm not even sure. I should know.
I want to get to this because there is a draft going on tomorrow. It's the nerd draft.
Yes.
Mex Bezozu says, buying or selling, in honor of the nerd draft, is Einstein the biggest nerd of all time?
That's a good question. I mean,
now we don't know who the fourth person is, but we do know it's between Reid, Koob, and Benny. That'll be announced tomorrow prior to the draft, I'm assuming.
Right.
That's an interesting one. Is Einstein considered a nerd?
The exact definition of nerd, I just Googled it. A person who is extremely enthusiastic and knowledgeable about a particular subject, especially one of specialist or niche interest. But the common thinking of a nerd is that this often comes with some social shunning, right? That you're a bit of an outcast, that you don't quite fit in. That definition of a nerd says nothing about not fitting in.
No,
it
you
just says
really good at
you're into something that maybe a lot of other people aren't into.
Right.
So
you're into science.
Right.
And the theory of relativity.
Yeah.
How about Steve Jobs?
Oh, Jobsy.
Old Jobsy, we used to call him back on the Apple campus. Was he Apple?
Jobsy.
Yeah, he was the
Gates
Macintosh.
and Jobs were Apple, were Microsoft, and then Jobs left to do Apple.
Yeah.
And then didn't
was bought
Microsoft
out of the company, yeah.
And then didn't Microsoft bail Apple out at some point in the late 90s?
I don't know.
Something
I don't know
somebody,
that far.
somebody
Yeah.
will know. Somebody's going to be all over this stuff. Is Einstein the greatest nerd of all time? He's certainly one of the most accomplished people who was very knowledgeable about a specialty thing.
Hula Boy Steve says, no, Einstein is not a nerd. He was a genius.
Yeah, that's good for
True. And his lifestyle was not nerdy at all. He lived quite lavishly.
Oh, do tell.
Various different ways.
Do tell, Coop.
Do tell.
Break
Well, he
up
had
the
some
fine
nightlife
china.
for sure.
Let's decant this conversation.
He probably, if he could, he would have been at Esties after
that's
party.
not true. He's dead.
Well, if he
Come on,
could
Coop.
have,
Quit-
if he could have,
putting
okay.
false information out.
He liked to party.
Did he?
Oh yeah, big time. I knew him personally. No.
What have we learned from the Coop today? Now, on Wikipedia, it says a nerd is a person seen as over-intellectual, obsessive, introverted, or lacking social skills. So that's more of the common perception, even though that's not the dictionary definition.
Buying or selling? Reid Wilkins will get drafted in tomorrow's nerd draft.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've often been considered a nerd. Am I actually one? TBD, bruh.
I just think you'd be classified like Dustin could be drafted too. I mean, I guess everybody that's here could be.
His card thing would be collecting hockey cards and doing crack packs or doing crack or whatever it is. That could be considered nerdy.
Well, okay, a little different there between collecting hockey cards and participating in illegal drug use.
Oh no, what he does crack?
He cracks packs.
Oh, he cracks packs. Okay.
Disclaimer.
I think, yeah, it's a good question. I think with me though, is that I'm not afraid of talking about my interests.
Right.
You know, so I'm like, okay, maybe it's nerdy. I don't know. I like it. I'm not going to apologize for it. But I like comic books.
I think it would be an honor to be drafted.
Yeah, it would be. Well, maybe yeah, I don't know.
I think that there's a negative connotation with nerd. And I think it crosses over into the dork category. Unfairly.
Like you'd sooner be a nerd than a dork.
100%.
Right.
Nerds can be cool. Nerds can have really cool hobbies.
Like the definition of a dork is a contemptible, socially inept person.
Yeah.
Like a dork wouldn't be fun to be around. A nerd could be fun to be around.
Right.
It's like, wow, like you could be, hey, everybody, I'm having 10 people over. And an hour into the get-together, you discover that Louis from down the hall can make origami out of anything. And then you're like, holy crap, man. Like, I didn't realize you were such a nerd with this stuff. But you mean it complimentary. That Louis has added something to the evening you didn't see coming. As opposed to the, Marvin, who's a dork because he's laughing at inappropriate times and he forgot to put deodorant on and he accidentally scrunched one of the beautiful origami things that Louis just made. And you're in the kitchen with your partner and you're like, we can't invite Marvin anymore. He's such a dork. And your partner's like, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I thought he was going to be cool. Oh, but man, did you see how everybody's nerding out with Louis and with Louis and his origami? That's awesome, right?
Right. But okay, sports nerd and origami nerd are still two different classes of nerd. Would you not say? At least in our line of work.
Sure.
Would Maddie be an email nerd? Because that's a hobby of his.
Yeah, but there's been worse.
He's an organized man.
Yeah, like Iwanek is sort of nerdy, but it's admirable. We bug him, but at the bottom line is it's admirable, the manner in which he is nerdy.
Well, he put on a hell of a show last night.
If he were just dorky, then you'd be like, oh my God.
Iwanek. That's what we discovered last week, and we said it after the show, is that nobody has more fun on any pre- or post-game show. Well, there's only two at EST, but out of the two, there's no question the Green and Gold kickoff and post-game show have the most fun.
I noticed you guys changed the chairs out as well for the show.
Well,
what was
chair
that
nerds.
about? Yeah, I guess so.
We're chair nerds.
Chair elitists.
I change this chair out every day because Dustin's cratered the other one. He's a big man.
I better get to this because we've been teasing it the entire show. Jake Walman, I think big opportunity for him with the Edmonton Oilers this season. Jay, you're going to have to point it to me. Which one is Bowman talking about? Walman? I got too many here, and I'm having trouble seeing them today. Bowman on Walman on right D.
I think that's pretty likely that's going to be the case. I think in talking to Jake at the end of last year about playing right or left, because we have just the two righties in Emerson, Stetcher, and Bush. The guys who play a lot of the minutes. We're trying to find out who's the best partner for Darnell. And last year, Stetch did a very good job at that. So I'm not overlooking that. But Jake indicated that he loves to play left or right. He just prefers to sort of stay wherever he is. So if he's going to play on right, then he'd probably rather just stay there, and then he can get more acclimated. But the way that Jake moves around on the offensive blue line with the puck, and he's got a really good one-timer, it's nice to have him on the offside as a threat. So I think there's a good chance that he and Darnell will be together.
What do you think of that?
Interesting. So where's that put Kulak?
Kulak within either Emerson or Stetcher. Yeah.
I think you have to find a way to elevate Walman up the lineup. Get him more time. Get him more offensive time. And I mean, from what you and I saw from him last year, and hopefully he's a little bit more comfortable this year with the team, I think there's a lot of upside there offensively.
Yes. Well, like Bowman said, he moves around well in the offensive zone. He knows how to get to the puck to net. Walman himself today answered a few questions, and of course, he could be a guy signing an extension.
I can tell you that I'm very appreciative to be in this position. Kind of been brought in last year to play a role, and I can tell you one thing, that I enjoy the city. I enjoy playing hockey here, and I think that it's most importantly a great fit for myself, and hockey-wise and family-wise. I think my family loves it. I'm in the Canadian market now, and I've enjoyed my time here. So that's what I know for sure. I enjoy being here, and the hockey's great. So I'll leave it at that.
So I think that is an extension that sounds like it will get done. But again, probably McDavid gets done first. We should got to get to this as well. And I left some questions. I think my buddy Slav Kornick asked the question, and Bob Stauffer as well from the Oilers radio network. Zack Hyman with a health update.
I feel great. Obviously, no more cast. Moving great. Won't be ready for day one in training camp, but progressing really, really well.
Do you have a timeline in terms of when you could be on the ice?
I'm on the ice. Yeah, I'm skating, just not with the team yet. Yeah.
Is there a realistic target date that you could share with us? Start of the regular season? How far into training camp do you foresee yourself playing any preseason games?
I've had major surgery before with the knee, and then whenever you set a timeline or a date, you often get disappointed if you don't hit that date, and then you tell people what the date is, and if the date comes and you're not ready for that date, then it's disappointment. So for me, internally with the group, we have little 2-week blocks milestones that we check off and that we hit, and right now we are progressing very well.
Okay, but he also said won't be on the ice tomorrow, though he is skating, just not with the team. I found it also interesting that it's 2-week blocks as opposed to even a week or a few days. Do you think we don't see him for a while? What does your gut tell you from what you heard there?
Yeah, not for a while.
Okay,
maybe up to a month, something like that.
So you think he might miss the start of the season?
Oh yeah, I think so. I didn't have a good feeling of it when I saw that interview with him and Paige from the Oilers
orientation camp. Yeah,
with the brace on.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have that now, but
not skating with the team, which means you're not taking contact on. You're not at all involved in any sort of contact drills. That's not a great place to be. And with your wrist, especially in hockey, it needs to be 100%. And why not give it the chance to get there anyway?
Good point. Edmonton Sports Talk presented by Play Alberta. Gaming made easy anytime, anywhere. With Play Alberta, you have a full casino experience right at your fingertips. Play from your phone, tablet, or computer whenever works for you. Download the Play Alberta app today and get started with a $50 casino bonus. Just deposit $50 with promo code EST Casino. Play smart, play local, and remember to use your game sense. We still have words of the day coming up. Time for your feedback in the Nasty Chat on YouTube, the River Cree Resort and Casino inbox, 780-218-9999. And a big winner, a guy we love last night from the Esties, the Big Uke, checks in next.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman addressed Connor McDavid's possible contract extension, stating that, quote, he wants nothing more than to win in Edmonton. Bowman also shared that Zack Hyman's return to the team is unknown as he recovers from a wrist injury, adding that the team has no interest in signing free agent Carter Hart. Down in Tampa, the Jays and Rays are underway, top of the first. That game's runless. 2 outs for Toronto. A runner on first base, Alejandro Kirk, up to bat. And down south, D.C. City Council has given approval of a nearly $4 billion project, including a 65,000-seat stadium to officially bring the Commanders back to D.C. by 2030. As for the Elks, Nick Anderson, Royce Mechie, and Jared Brinkman did not practice today. In curling, Canadian Brad Gushue has announced that the 2025-26 season will be his final year before retirement. The Olympic gold medalist has won 6 Brier Cups in his career. Big Uke checks in after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
The Oil Stream.
That's the really interesting thing to look at this. Okay, what could Savoie do? What could Howard do? What could possibly Tomasek do? Mm-hmm. You know, could Walman score 15 from the back end, which would be huge?
That would be.
So that could add up to about 40 goals. McDavid himself could provide a 40-goal swing from last year.
The Oil Stream, presented by Boston Pizza. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoons at noon. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
The leaves are turning, and just like golf season, time is running out to get in on Play Alberta's biggest offer ever. For a limited time only, new players can get up to a $1,000 casino bonus when they sign up. There's never been a better time to join the fun. Visit playalberta.ca today to get started with casino, sports, and lottery all in one app. Must be 18 plus to play. Remember, if you gamble, please use your game sense.
It's wing showdown time at the Canadian Brewhouse. Creamy street corn goes head-to-head with Mexican chili lime. 2 bold flavors battling for your taste buds. Grab them anytime, or just 69 cents every Wing Wednesday. The Canadian Brewhouse. Our house is your house.
Your home for live music and great performances is the River Cree Resort and Casino.
Just wasting gas.
Don't miss 3-time CCMA Performer of the Year, Dallas Smith, Unplugged, November 1st at the River Cree Resort and Casino. Get your tickets at rivercreeresort.com. River Cree Resort and Casino. Excitement, bet on it.
Need extra space for products, tools, or seasonal stock? Sentinel Storage gives your business flexible storage and the room to grow. Affordable storage that scales with you. Try 4 weeks free at sentinelstorage.ca. Buy Canadian, store Canadian.
Classic North Shore with Jay Milne on the lead vocals. Earlier today at Rogers Place, Oilers GM Stan Bowman explaining why he's confident Connor McDavid will sign a contract extension.
Well, I just go by what Connor says, which is he wants nothing more than to win in Edmonton. So, I take him at his word. He's going through his own process, and I think you have to understand that and respect it. And I do. And when he's ready, he'll be ready. So, I realize that's on everyone's mind in the media and the fans, and it's on our mind too. But it's one of those things where we've had multiple conversations, and he's been very consistent with what he's been saying to the media as well as to myself. And so we just kind of go with it from there.
little bit there from Stan Bowman. Availability earlier today at Rogers Place. Jason Milne and I are in the Canadian Brewhouse studio. Pizza Sunday is back at the Canadian Brewhouse. After 4 p.m., grab an 8-inch 2-topping pizza for just $9.99. Wash it down with $6.99 doubles and $1 off Bud Light tankers. All right, very special guest here on Edmonton Sports Talk. He was a double winner last night at the Esties. Many of you probably have heard of him or met him or conversed with him in the Nasty Chat or in person at one of our EST events. So he won, most dedicated Nasty and Nasty of the Year.
AM Nasty of the Year, yeah.
The final award that you and I gave out. It is the one and only Big Uke checking in. Big Uke, how are you doing?
Oh, living the dream, boys.
Well, congratulations. I was very happy for you last night. How did it feel getting up there on stage and getting these awards?
It's pretty surreal. It's just a culmination of everything over the years. The year, it was pretty special.
Now, tell us about your, because I know for me, I mean, I came from another station, so a lot of listeners had this pre-existing relationship with Dusty and some of the guys who were on 1260. Like, how far back do you go in terms of your listenership with these guys or some of the personalities that we have?
Probably like a year for sure before they got shut down, and then got to know Dusty a bit more through a couple on locations they did with the Oil Stream and stuff, and then getting into the Crack Pack. We all do crack together, so that was kind of the big thing. And then just always listening into the show, texting in more, but probably about a year, 2 years, kind of before things went south at the other place.
Okay, first of all, I love a subtle sense of humor from the Big Uke. That's what I love, working in the crack reference. The nickname, big surprise, Big Uke is not his given name. Can you tell us where it came from, who gave it to you, how it stuck? I've known you a little while now. I don't know this story.
Well, my last name's Ukach, so a lot of guys would call me Uke. That's just a shortening of the last name. And then I'm not small, so that's kind of 1 + 1 = 2 there. So it's not a crazy story there, but
fair enough.
So I think it's fair to say, and I saw you at a urinal last night. We were peeing beside each other, and I asked you.
Classic.
I said, Big Uke, how's this all been? And you said, well, the summer of Uke. And I got to agree with you. So for those that don't know, I would say the summer of Uke started at the Nasty Bash, where you were baptized with 6 o'clock or lager on the patio of the St. Albert Rugby Club. That was just a wonderful moment. Then on the Labor Day bus experience, you were singled out in the crowd by Dwayne Ford and mentioned as oversized or supersized Indiana Jones, which I thought that was a great description.
It was apt in the moment.
And yesterday you take down 2 Esties and you get probably one of the biggest honors, the AM Nasty of the Year. Of those 3, what, could you rank how those mean to you in importance?
Oh, that's tough. They're all a little bit different. And the supersized Indiana Jones thing, that's iconic. The fact that even has just happened and how that unfolded, hilarious. Will never not be funny. The baptism, it's one of those things that with the bash being what it is, and that it checks out that this big dude with his shirt open's getting beer poured on his head. So that I don't know. It's tough to rank them in any type of order. They're all number 1 in my heart.
I wanted to also ask you, because whenever I'm at an event, you're there.
Yeah.
Without fail. How the heck do you find all the time to make it to all these different events?
I have no life other than this, so there's that.
That's a good point.
That makes it easy. Yeah, don't know. It's just it's fun. So it's easy to make the time when you enjoy going to them, and the people there are always great to be with. So I don't know. You just make it work.
It is fun to be at those events for sure. So of the big four for EST, this is something I want to know from you, because this is always an interesting point because everybody has their different experiences. But of the big four at EST, we've got the Nasty Bash, the EST Golf Classic, the Esties, and the Fun Spiel. For you, what's the one you look forward to most?
Oh, the Bash. That's just, that's how it all kind of got started. When they announced that, the AM was coming back and the announcing of Smash Smash and, that one's probably the number one on the calendar for sure.
Yeah. The announcing of Smash Smash. Yeah. Who was wearing that thing, Uke? All right.
Some little nerd.
Some clown. So I'm gonna thank you for making time to come on the show. Congratulations again on your awards, on your Esties. We'll end it here. Which of my voices would you like to be congratulated by before we end the segment?
I mean, it'd be blasphemous to not ask for the bookbinder.
Who's this coming at this odd hour to my door? Oh, let me see who it is. Oh, hello. Hi, I know who you are. Big Uke, winner of AM Nasty of the Year and most dedicated Nasty at the 2025 Esties. What can I put together for you, sir? Perhaps a collection of photos from the Esties. Look at these hands, Big Uke. They are made for bookbinding, for the enjoyment of others. Thanks, Big Uke.
Oh, incredible.
Big Uke, we love you. All those awards were more than deserving of you. A round of applause for Uke. Thanks for joining us today on the Reid Wilkins Show.
I appreciate it, boys.
Right on. That's Big Uke. Love that guy. Well, we love all our listeners, all our nasties, but he gets some extra special love today. And why not?
That might be something we could look at doing, Reid. Having a nasty of the week or a nasty of the month.
And he gets congratulated by the character of his choice.
Yeah. Like once a month we bring somebody on. And
then that would help me work on the voices.
It'd help you get some reps.
Yeah, got to get my reps.
But it is interesting
with my
because,
made-up characters.
Charlie Dufault says, nice to finally see you on here, Big Uke. It's cool to put a face behind a name.
Well, I guess that's the thing. They don't see each other.
Yeah.
And some
we
do see them. But Charlie is, Charlie's in Sherwood Park, I think.
He is.
I always think he's in Winnipeg. I'm just going to keep believing Charlie lives in Winnipeg.
I say go with it.
I say Charlie has a condo right on the corner of Portage and Main.
He probably lives beside
that's who
Huff.
you are
Huss.
in my mind.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's next door neighbors with Huss. That's what we'll envision.
Yeah,
it as.
sure. But yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we do have out of town nasties or people who just can't make the events or whatever. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, you got to bask in an image of the Big Uke, who is an awesome guy.
Wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful, as are all of you.
Did we get more limericks than usual today?
I think so.
I'm just
you know
looking
why?
at my email now. I think I hear my email chiming now.
You know why? Because it was proposed that this could be an SD.
Oh, right. Yeah, I can't remember which ones you read. You're going to have to do them.
Okay, I'll go to Tube Socks first.
Okay.
When the night started winding away, a true glue guy stepped up named Jay. He drove us in style, party bound all the while, and got the whole crew on their way. Well done. This comes in from Jeff and YYZ. Reid's awards have a beautiful sheen. From a workplace, he ranks with 14. St. Vincent's poster with love. Jablonski just got the shove. Uncoordinated like no one has seen.
Yeah, I didn't do the Jablonski.
Right.
It's not the Jablonski voice. It's the coach that's mad at Jablonski. Yeah.
Coach Cleats.
He could have presented an award. Yeah.
And this one comes in from, it's not opening. Give me a sec.
It's probably from your pen pal from Sweden. That
Linnea.
wants to start a friendship with you. Yeah.
This comes in from VR Montenegro. At an elegant gala with outfits divine, the true spirit of this community does shine. Nasties have nothing to hide. Fanatical love and pride for the greatest sports talk with hosts so genuine.
Oh, that's very nice.
I think that's
very
a good
beautiful.
one.
Yeah, very beautiful.
So we gotta talk to Wannick. We got to make this official that next year we will have a category for
Limerick of the Year or something like that.
I think we have to.
We could try that.
We could, and then I would be in charge of it. We could say
you'd filter it out.
We're only allowed to accept one a week.
Okay,
and we
pare it down,
ramp it up.
Yeah.
So bring your A game.
Give us a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. We're at 110. Let's see if we can get to 120 in the final 11 minutes of the show.
On.
If you haven't clicked already, click that thumbs up button or share the show link with somebody else and say, hey, listen to these guys for a few minutes. You're probably going to like them, and give them a thumbs up.
Click, click, click. Must you click? Please, please click. Must you click? You must click. Thumb, thumb, thumb.
Remember, when you're texting 780-218-9999, you're using the afternoon inbox presented by River Cree Resort and Casino, home of the kitchen restaurant. Sundays and Mondays, 50% off the entire menu. That's available Sundays and Mondays, 5 p.m. until close. All right, one final update from the Coop. We got words of the day ahead.
Oilers general manager Stan Bowman spoke to media, with Bowman sharing that there's no return date for Zack Hyman as he continues to recover from wrist injury. He also touched on the McDavid contract situation, stating, quote, he's all about winning. Bowman also confirming that the team is not interested in free agent Carter Hart. 7 players were on the Elks injury report today. Jared Brinkman, Nick Anderson, and Royce Metche sidelined with injury. Right now, the Jays and Rays are runless bottom of the first, 0 outs for Tampa with Kevin Gausman on the mound. And down south, DC City Council has given their approval for a nearly $4 billion project, including a 65,000-seat stadium by 2030, officially bringing the Commanders back to DC. In the curling world, Canadian Brad Gushue has announced that he will retire at the end of the upcoming season. Gushue winning Olympic gold and 6 Briers in his career. The final segment of today's Reid Wilkins Show brings us back after the break. I'm Zachary Kubish, and you're up to date.
EST Afternoons.
Stan Bowman said it's not about the money. And that to me is a huge red flag, because Joaquin, you've been around forever. When superstars usually have or don't know if they want to sign, all this stuff, contract extension, is usually down to money, right? The team doesn't want to give them. When the GM of the team says it's not about money, that concerns me.
EST Afternoons, weekday afternoons 1 to 3, only on Edmonton Sports Talk. Your clear choice for Edmonton sports.
Your brand deserves more than just a whisper, it deserves a buzz. At the Hive Product Marketing, they specialize in promotional products that bring the buzz. From eye-catching giveaways to unforgettable keepsakes, they got the perfect products to make your brand stand out and get noticed. Visit the Hive Product Marketing and let them create the buzz your business deserves. The Hive Product Marketing, the official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Visit them online at thehiveproductmarketing.com.
Looking for a winning strategy for your retirement? Contact me, Joaquin Gage at K4 Financial, where expertise meets dedication. I will always look for a careful approach to your retirement, ensuring your financial future is secure. From tailored strategies to clear, actionable advice, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Don't leave your future to chance. Get in touch with me, Joaquin Gage, today at k4financial.ca or email joaquin.gage@k4financial.ca to start planning for a brighter future and a more secure retirement.
Hi there. If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
All right, appreciate you tuning in this afternoon. Plenty of Connor McDavid talk, plenty of discussion about some other Oilers topics as well. Stan Bowman was asked a pretty blunt question today. It came from Daniel Nugent-Bowman of The Athletic. Would you consider bringing in Carter Hart to be a potential goaltender for the Oilers?
No, I like, right now we're not looking at those types of situations. I really like like I referenced earlier to Mark, I like where Stu's at with his the way he trained and his outlook coming into the year. So I think we're going to go forward with that.
All right, and here's some of what Bowman had to say about Stuart Skinner.
I just really like his attitude coming in. I think he trained hard this summer, and he looks to have like a refreshed approach to the year. We have a new goalie coach, and he and Peter really seem to have formed a bond together. They spent a lot of time this summer, just talking hockey, and there's a great vibe around that right now. And I think that was something I thought about was, he's a talented goalie, and when he's at his best, he's really good. So if we can get the consistency in Stu's game, and I think maybe sometimes a different voice could help tap into that. And I think, the early returns are very positive. We haven't even skated yet in training camp, though. So we'll see where it goes. But
yeah, more consistency from Skinner. I want to get to this one too, Jay. This was an important story when it happened. It hasn't been talked about as much lately. Trent Frederic got an 8-year deal, and we were all like, "What is going on? Like, how does Trent Frederic get that long of a deal?" Well, Bowman was asked that today.
That was really a factor with just the overall picture of what Freddie brings to the table. So he's a younger free agent, so 27 years old. The ability to play multiple positions, the type of player that he is. If you look around the league, they're in pretty short supply. So as a result, that plays into when you're negotiating with them. If we had chosen not to pursue Freddie, or if we couldn't get a deal done, it's not like there was 10 other guys that are pretty equivalent players. We'll just get one of them instead. So I think he's got a unique skill set that's in short supply.
Okay, so, I'll just cut that off there. But the point from Bowman's perspective is still relatively young to grab at 27 for free agency. A skill set that the Oilers need and that he says isn't fairly common. And that is he can play, like what was the Brian Burke term, a truculent game and maybe chip in offensively as well. So that's why he got the 8-year deal. We realize people may not agree with that, but that's the reasoning from the general manager. All right, baby. Words of the day.
The word of the day with Reid and Jay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break your concentration?
What do they got to say?
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you.
Let's find out.
English, do you speak it? Then you know what I'm saying.
All
right. First word of the day. Crapulous.
Crapulous. Well, I'll go with the first spelling that came into my head.
Maybe you should.
I wrote down.
Maybe you should.
Crapulous. Crapulous. I spelled it correctly. I've never heard this word. It has crap in it, though I doubt it pertains to feces. Crapulous. So usually a word with that syllable would mean like a lot of something or an abundance, like fabulous. I will say
quite opposite, I believe.
Oh, it is. Okay.
What would you want me to use in a sentence?
Just do a sentence. I'll sacrifice the half point.
A crapulous wastrel who went through the family's once fabulous fortune in less than a decade. A crapulous wastrel. Wastrel?
I don't even know what that word means either.
Who went through the family's once fabulous fortune.
I will say it's somebody who is not good at saving money or who spends money on unnecessary items. Totally incorrect.
Well, it's not
big F.
It's not
stamp an F on my forehead.
It's not 100% wrong, but marked by intemperance, especially in eating or drinking.
Oh, okay.
Or sick from excessive indulgence in liquor.
Oh, wow. Oh, interesting. Okay. So, but it has to do with excessive.
Yeah.
But it was just a negative connotation.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Second word of the day.
Well, I spelled it correctly.
Numinous.
Well, again, there's a highly obvious spelling. Then there would be a different... I bet you it's this way. I'm not looking at you to get it, so I don't...
Well, I think you're 0 for 2 there, bud.
Neither of these are correct, so you're giving me hints, so I'm losing points. Numinous. Okay, don't look anymore. Because I'm going to lose, even if I get it right now.
Don't overthink it. That's what I would say.
Well, I didn't, though.
You did on the first one.
This one?
Yes. Make it simpler.
Well, that's the simplest way I can think of, but it might have that. Okay, I'll do like grade 1 simple. Sound it out. Numinous. Numanus. Is it O-U-S at the end?
Well, it's N-U-M-I.
Oh.
N-O-U-S.
Oh, wow. Numinous. I'm going to say this is...
Many would think that the Pope is numinous.
Oh. This is related to holiness. This is a leadership position within a church or religious organization. No? Ah, jeez.
Kinda. Filled with a sense of the presence of divinity.
Oh, wow. I never would have got that. And I'm not numinous myself. I'm the anti-numinous. Okay.
Well, at least you're not crapulous.
Right. Well, that was the other word today. I already forgot where I heard that word. I was like, when have I heard that recently? 2 minutes ago. Good stuff. Blue Jays underway in Tampa Bay. No score in the bottom of the first. We're off and running, man. Feels like hockey's really wrapping up now. We had a lot of Oilers content today. A lot of talk about McDavid. Of course, the Elks in Hamilton on Saturday. We'll keep getting you ready for that game. Live programming resumes at 6:04 a.m. on our audio streams on EdmontonSportsTalk.com, on YouTube, and for the Nielsen Show with Lieutenant Eric on 95.7 Cruise FM. On behalf of the Cougs, Zachary Kubish, and the glue guy, Jay Milne, I'm Reid Wilkins. Have a great night.